Hi, my name is Kent Hudson and I am the Executive Director of the Community Foundation of PEI. It is my pleasure to welcome you to tonight's first, and preferably last, PEI Stay At Home online gala. Our sole purpose tonight was to bring Islanders together while staying apart. We are in this together, and we want to provide you with a night of worry-free entertainment. From Islanders, for Islanders. Sit back and enjoy the next few hours while we feature some wonderful Islanders. And now, I would like to introduce our MC for the evening, none other than Kevin Boomer Gallant. Over to you, Boomer.
Well, thank you very much, Kent, and what an honor and privilege it is to be here this evening as your host for the next three the Community Foundation Stay At Home online gala. So being a gala, don't forget to support some of the local restaurants you saw on our website. Get them to deliver to your home. Maybe pick out a nice glass of water all the way up to cognac, whatever that is, but a glass of wine. But hey, we're going to have some fun. You're going to see some great interviews from PEI personalities. As I said, I'm very excited about what's going to happen over the next 3 hours. And the first hour, we're going to call it Happy Hour. It is Friday. We're all at home. The wind's blowing outside. It's going to rain. So settle down, as I mentioned, in your favorite chair with your favorite beverage and maybe a meal, as I mentioned, support some of the local restaurants. We're going to have a great time tonight, some great music. Even may want to get your tap shoes out as we get closer to the witching hour of 9 o'clock. But it's just getting underway here. And speaking of talent, we have a load of talent here this evening. And our first performer, well, I remember years ago, everything used to be Kendall Doherty. Kendall Doherty here, there, everywhere in Prince Edward Island. And he hails from just to the south of Charlottetown. There's my man right there, Kendall Doherty. And Kendall, you're going to perform for us tonight, but I think I heard you tell Matt Rainey at one time how many performances you have done, because I can remember you and I had hair and bangs, so let us in on that.
Well, I still have my hair, Boomer, but yeah, there's been quite a few of them over the years. I don't think I'd want to tally, and I'm not sure if any of the folks from CRA are listening, so I might not want to say. But no, there's been quite a few performances over the years. We do anywhere between 50 and 100 a year. So.
Wow! Oh my goodness! So, how long have you been performing, Kendall?
I started performing when I was 13 and have been performing ever since, and I'm going to be 43 this year, so I guess close to 30 years. So.
30 years. And did you style your music after anybody when you started out, or in the present day form?
Well, back when I started, I guess I couldn't deny that I certainly did a lot of Elvis Presley music and sang a lot of his songs. And yeah, I've seen you. I don't have the costume you have, but no, I did a lot of Elvis music.
The old Elvis and the young Elvis, but the middle Elvis sort of fits me a little better now. But so Elvis, a lot of religious tunes, or some of his a whole lot of shaking going on, and some Jerry Lewis in there.
Really everything. As Elvis was a pretty versatile musician, and he did everything from gospel, country to the rock and roll, of course. And I've kind of been the same. I've done every style of music. And as I got older, maybe gained a little bit greater appreciation for the traditional and local music of PEI in the Maritimes. All
right. So what are you going to sing for us tonight from the 30-year career? You're going to show everybody out there in online land. What do we have in store tonight, Kendall?
Well, I picked a song, and I wasn't really sure, I'll be honest, straight up till today what I was going to do. And I called my mom this morning, and she said, you have to do this song. So you should always do what your mother says. So it's a song called Islanders. It was originally written in the West Coast, sung by Gary Felgard, and kind of rewrote and re-released here with an island flair by our very own Gordon Belcher. And it's a great song, and it's kind of catchy. So if folks at home want to join in and sing along, that'd be great.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Kendall Doherty with us tonight.
Highlanders, Highlanders are right to the bone. How can they wander so far from our home? With a true love beside us, kissed by the sea, Islanders will always be. We're vagabond minstrels, seekers of fame, Been round the world and we've come back again. We have taken our vows, basked in the glory and made our way home from the sea. Islanders, islanders, right to the bone. How can we wander so far from our home, with a true love beside us, kissed by the sea? Islanders will always be. Well, the ancient old fortress hangs in the mist. If we cut her to pieces, she'll surely be missed. She's the heart of a poet, soul of a sailor. Will save her for you and for me. Islanders, islanders, right to the bone. How can we wander so far from our home, with a true love beside us, kissed by the sea? Islanders will always be. Sometimes the wind, like the howl of a banshee, howling nor'easter, she'll pound at our door. Safe is the harbor, sweet is the anchor, we'll never go sailing no more, at least not too far from the shore. Islanders, islanders, right to the bone. How can we wander so far from our home, with a true love beside us, kissed by the sea? Islanders will always be. Islanders, islanders, right to the bone. How can we wander so far from our home, with a true love beside us, kissed by the sea? Islanders will always be. With a true love beside us, kissed by the sea. Islanders will always be. True islanders will always be.
Thank you very much, Kendall Dowling. What a great way to start off our musical entertainment here tonight with the song Islanders. Islanders, right to the bone. Islanders should always be. I know it's a bit of crimp in everybody performers concert series this year, but anything in the works this summer with what's going on, Kendall, quickly?
Well, we had quite a bit on the go, but right now with the large crowd situation, we're not sure exactly what we're going to be allowed to do under the public health office, but we'll just wait and see how things unfold. And as the restrictions are lifted, we host a show called the Kealan in the City that we've been doing. This is actually our 10th season. Was planned to be a fairly big year of celebration, starting in June and running right through till November, but we're not really sure right now what's going to take place, so, which most artists aren't.
Yeah, that's right. It's all up in the air there. But thank you very much, Kendall, for being a part of the Community Foundation Stay at Home online gala. And good luck the next 30 years in your music career.
Thanks, but we're happy to be here.
All right. Happy to have you. Well, we're going from Kendall Doherty, just west of Charlottetown. We're going down east now, and a name becoming very familiar around the island. Boy, can this person sing. And we're going to talk to Barry O'Brien, the pride of Georgetown, Prince Edward Island. And Barry, you're all set to go there, but a little background on you. And I read a headline a couple of days ago about you being a rock star turned teaching ukulele lessons. So quite a variance there in your music styles, Barry.
Rock star. I don't know how you're doing, Boomer. I don't know if I consider myself a rock star by any means, but yeah, I did some teaching a ukulele a few years ago to some seniors here in Georgetown, God's country, I'd like to refer to it as. We're pretty important down here now, so we're pretty important down this way. But yeah, I did some teaching of some ukulele to 30 seniors of a senior program here in Georgetown, and it was pretty fun, I'll tell you. It was probably the most rewarding thing I've ever done. My son Garrett helped me teach it. Funny thing is, I didn't know how to play ukulele before. They asked me. I thought it was a joke. I showed up, learned how to play it very quickly, and showed them in it. But it was amazing. They even had a tour bus, Boomer. They tour around. I wasn't allowed to ride in it. I'd have to drive my 2007 Kia behind it. They were a little bit too big for me at that point, but it was a lot of fun.
So a ukulele tour bus around the island, that would be probably a first, wouldn't it, Barry?
I'm not a historian. You'd have to ask Dutch that, but I don't know. I would say they even went off island a couple of times, so they were pretty big. They're pretty big around. This George
Must be pretty good. Must be pretty good. You go off island. Style of music that you do play that we may hear this evening, Barry. What do you fancy your music after?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. When I'm, I play a lot of folk, country, a little bit of rock stuff, a little bit of everything. That East Coast sound that came around in maybe the mid to late '90s. That kind of stuff. So that's what I do. But I hope everybody enjoys it. Georgetown's an amazing place, so stop by and see us this summer when everything is lifted and we can. We'd love to have you. Come see the Wheelhouse, come see the Maroon Pig Art Gallery and restaurant there, and just come and enjoy this place because it's a beauty, I promise you.
Can I sing a song with you if I come down there this summer?
You definitely can. I hope you're going to sing along tonight. I got a little medley I put together, so it's going to represent. I never played a gig in Georgetown where I didn't have everybody in Georgetown sing along to the first song that leads into it. It's a tradition here in the Eastern and Prince Edward Island. Everybody will know it. They better be singing. We call this karaoke when I'm on stage. I play and sing and people sing with me. Okay, so karaoke. Let's hear you tonight. I can hear everybody. We have that open feed. Those Google things. They let you hear everything.
All right. Well, we have a very large audience worldwide watching tonight, Barry. So tell us what you're going to sing and take it away from there.
Yeah, I'm going to do John Denver, Country Roads, and then into a little bit of a surprise.
Okay, sing along, folks.
Almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountain, Shenandoah River. Love is over there, younger than the seas, younger than the mountains. Blue like the breeze, take me home to the place I belong, West Virginia, Mountain Mama, oh, take me home, down country roads. All my memories, well, they gather round her. Miner's lady, straight to blue water, dark and dusty, painted on the sky. A misty taste of moonshine brings a teardrop to my eye. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong, West Virginia. Oh, take me home down country roads. I hear a voice in the morning as she calls me. Radio reminds me of my home far away. Driving down the road, I get this feeling that I should have been home yesterday. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong, West Virginia, Mountain Mama, oh, take me home down country roads, oh, take me home, my country roads. Kings County, there's hard-working folk. Some work in the fields, some work on the boats. At the end of the week, when they all earn their pay, it's like the Indy 500 was heading this way. Well, the traffic's running hard again, all the way to Cardigan. People running up the hill to get a case of beer. Gonna buy a quarter, I'm gonna have a little fun. Friday night at Cardigan, and everybody's here. Okay, everybody in the island, I want to hear you singing here in Georgetown. Let's hear you over in Cardigan. Let's hear you down in Montague. Let's hear you up in Charlottetown, all the way to the West End. Well, the traffic's running hard again, all the way to Cardigan. People running up the hill to get a case of beer. Gonna buy fun, gonna have a little fun. Friday night at Cardigan, and everybody's here. Friday night at Cardigan, and everybody's here.
Well, a couple of songs there, the
Yeah.
Barry that a lot of people on the island would know the words to. I sang along to John Denver, one of the first 45s I bought with my paper money way back. And then, of course, Eddie Quinn's famous song, All the Way to Cardigan. So any work this summer with the shutdown so far, Barry? Are you looking forward to any gigs?
Hoping to get back to Peaks Key, Boomer. We do the summer concert series downstairs at the Peaks Wharf. The Dolans and the other merchants every year. It is a tremendous thing, especially support of the Wish Foundation. So there's a box there that raises enough. We usually do at least one wish a year, sometimes two. So I'm just saying a lot of prayers in the beginning of this year to be able to we can do that. And you might.
Yeah, we all are.
Yeah, Barry O'Brien's Facebook. We're hoping to do maybe concerts, virtual concerts that will support this spring.
Yeah, a lot of people hoping this gets over sooner than later. And Barry, I want to thank you for your time tonight. Good luck in the months and years ahead with your career. And thanks for helping out a great cause here tonight with the Stay at Home online gala. We look more for Barry O'Brien, folks. Look him up. Great singers we just heard. And any concerts once things settle down. Sure, the seats are going to fill up quick. So thanks again, Barry.
Thanks a lot, Boomer. Go Red Sox.
All right, there we go. Well, we have our next performer is pre-recorded entertainer here that already did her number because last week we were supposed to go out of respect for Nova Scotia. We are this week, tonight. And this young lady hails from Summerside area. Brooke McArthur is her name. And she was in Nashville, Tennessee last fall recording a CD. Very young talent, great voice. And looking forward to her CD. I believe it comes out in May, maybe a little delayed with the COVID going on. But I tell you, she does have a voice. And here is Brooke McArthur right now, folks, to sing for us, Lean on Me. Brooke McArthur.
Thanks, Boomer, for having me a part of this awesome show. I'm going to do the song Stand By Me. And even though we all can't physically stand by each other right now, we can definitely work together separately as a community and hopefully become stronger than ever after all this is over. So yeah, this is Stand By Me. When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we'll see. No, I won't be afraid. No, I won't be afraid. Just as long as you stand by me. And darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Stand by me. If the sky that we look upon should tumble and fall, and the mountains should crumble to the sea, I won't cry, no, I won't shed a tear, just as long as you stand by me. And darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Stand by me. Thank you.
Well, a talent there for sure. What a voice and what a future for Brooke McArthur. This island is full of talent. We're going to showcase much of it here tonight, including our next performer. Boy, when it comes to music in Prince Edward Island, no kitchen party or any concert or anything without a fiddle, boy, you may as well ask for some of your money back. But we have one of the finest fiddlers in Prince Edward Island with us right now, going to perform. Kealan Wedge, of course, you know the name. Performed with many around Prince Edward Island and noted for her fiddle expertise. And there's Kealan right there. Kealan, how are you?
I'm good, and how are you?
Great all together, just having a great time. I love watching people sing. That's why I used to like American Idol or karaoke or something. But seeing you folks perform here for us tonight, boy, what a treat. And tell us a little bit about background. Kealan, you got the guitar in your hand tonight. I know you're known for the fiddle as well. So I'd love to play one instrument, let alone two or three like most of you. But a little background on your early career, Kealan.
Yes, well, I did. I started playing when I was about 5 years old for the fiddle. And whenever I kept going with that, I did pick up a few other instruments along the way. We played a lot of music around home when I was a kid, and I grew up in a pretty musical family, so I consider myself very, very lucky too. So this is what I do now, and I love it.
Yeah, so a lot of gigs you probably postponed or put off for a few days, but or months or weeks. But you perform with a variety of bands and groups as well. Maybe you want to name some of them, Kealan?
Sure thing. So one of the main groups I play with these days is, of course, Fiddler's Sons.
Love
which
Eddie
is
Quinn.
Actually, yeah, Eddie Quinn.
So you guys
there's
with Eddie. Yeah. Go ahead.
Sorry about that.
No, that's
I
okay.
also play with a couple other groups. There's a brand new venue in Middleton called the Red Dirt Girl Room. And I also play with Jeannie and her house band, which is myself and Jeannie and Christine Cameron.
Oh, nice.
So that's
right.
really up and coming too.
Yeah, so what are you going to play for us tonight? One of your own tunes or a cover song? You fill us in, Kealan.
Well, this song is actually a brand new song written by Eddie Quinn. And it is called Island Pride. And it was specifically written for me by him. I feel very honored to sing it for you today.
All right, folks, here it is. Kealan Wedge, another great island artist singing a tune written by the great Eddie Quinn. Kealan, take it away.
Thank you so much. Sorry about that, guys.
Church and country music were the way where I was born. One called to me while the other left me torn. I think back to growing pains along the red dirt road, to the tunes that I was learning while I carry my own load. I couldn't see the rainbow, so I hid myself away and put my feelings into every note I played. I was lost and lonely, I had music as my guide, and the color finally found me, filled me up with island pride. Well, passion is my passion, I got music in my bones, and there's a story in these melodies and tunes. And the beat is strong and steady, and my heart is open wide, and I'm living in the rhythm, standing tall with island pride. Struggles made me stronger, whispering behind my back. Didn't slow me down, I left them in the past. I just kept on dreaming, I got good friends by my side. And I'll live in love and rise above everything without any pride. Well, passion is my passion, I got music in my bones. And there's a story in these melodies and tunes. And the beat is strong and steady, and my heart is open wide. And I'm living in the rhythm, standing tall without any pride. And I'm living in the rhythm, standing tall without any pride.
Whoa, yeah. Kealan, Eddie's going to be hard pressed to hit those high notes like you did, but boy, that's a lovely rendition of a great. I'm going to go watch him, see if he can. But thanks very much, Kealan, for being with us tonight. A great song. You're a wonderful voice and a great guitar player and a fiddle player. But hopefully, when things get back in the ground, we'll look for you back with Fiddler's Sons.
Thank you so much, Boomer.
All right, folks, Kealan Wedge. And again, you can catch her when things, as I mentioned, probably say it 300 or 400 times, and I settle down in the world. And here in the island, we can get out and enjoy some of this great island music. Well, speaking of great island music, we have another performer coming our way during this happy hour. We're calling that 6 to 7, the happy hour. And this young man, Liam Corcoran. And of course, Liam's going to join us here and sing a couple of songs. But people probably know you, Liam. You have a solo career going right now. But 2 Hours Traffic, very successful band a few years back. And tell us about when things were going great with 2 Hours Traffic. You guys went worldwide at one time. I'm a little trouble there with Liam's audio, but we hopefully will have him back shortly. And I can tell you, don't forget, we can donate. You can donate watching tonight. Just go back to the CFPEI website and donate to the fundraiser here this evening. All monies go towards the COVID-19 Impact Relief Fund. And boy, you've seen some great entertainment already. We're just getting into this, for Pete's sake. We still get 2.5 hours of entertainment, some great interviews coming up. You name a sports celebrity, they're probably going to be on here with us tonight. And lots of great music as well. I said maybe you want to dance around the room, maybe get the tap shoes out towards the end of the night, maybe the spoons. I know the cupboard's right behind me here. If I hear some fiddle tunes I like, may have to go with the spoons as well. So as we wait for Liam Corcoran, I can tell you that the Community Foundation does some great things around the island with their fundraising efforts. And this one, again, no secret that the worldwide news is the COVID-19 disease that is going on right now. And the monies tonight go to help the Impact Fund here on Prince Edward Island. So Liam will try to get his audio checked. As I mentioned, we're going live tonight. And I remember being live when I worked at CBC Compass. Boy, it's fun when you go live. Isn't it, Boomer? You have to talk so much when things don't go so good. Hey, there he is right there. We have the video portion. Can you hear me now, Liam?
I can hear you, Boomer. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. So here we go again. Liam Corcoran on a solo career right now, but 2 Hours Traffic, you're probably better known for back then, but you do have a solo career now, a couple of CDs out, which are going great. But tell us about 2 Hours Traffic. You guys went worldwide at one time with your music and band, Liam.
Yeah, so we started 2 Hours Traffic when we were still in high school and ended up traveling all over the world with it and released a bunch of albums and more success than we ever dreamed of. So it was a wonderful time.
All right. And now your solo career, and how's that been going for you, Liam?
It's great. I don't tour around like I used to. I have a family now, but continue to write songs and release albums, and it's what I love to do.
All right. So the song you're about to sing for us here online and throughout the world, as we have people all over the world watching. Tell us a little background on the song you're going to sing for us, Liam.
So this is off a brand new album I just released about a month ago, and it's actually about Island hockey legend Bobby McMillan, and I thought it would be a good night to play this tune.
All right, here we go. Liam Corcoran, folks.
Bobby was a big guy in the sun. Working on his side in the July sun. All the other kids out on the beach. Oh, lying in the sand and having fun. When the season hit, they saw the numbers on his side. Numbers that couldn't take apart like Bobby McMillan. Well, this town was too small for a talent like that. So he went up country like his brother before. Skated through the town in Ontario. And in 72 he was invited to show. Many others fell, but he kept on having back. I guess they didn't want to bear like Bobby McMillan. No, they didn't want to bear like Bobby McMillan. And by 78, things were going all right. Showing up on the game sheet every night. He always kept it true like a gentleman does. Oh, and he ran away with the lady baby, 'cause that's what he was. And when the summer came, we had a trophy on the drive. Oh, 'cause no one had class like Bobby McMillan. No, they didn't have class like Bobby McMillan. Like Bobby McMillan. I guess they didn't want to play like Bobby McMillan.
All right, Liam Corcoran, thank you very much. Song about Bobby McMillan. He was one of my first paper boys when he delivered The Guardian way back. But Liam, good luck with your future in the music industry, and 2 CDs out, I think it is, or can we count on 2 of those?
Yeah, I got 2 under my own name now.
Very nice. Well, thanks for joining us, Liam, in this great fundraiser, and all the best in your future endeavors.
Thanks so much, Boomer.
Thank you. Liam Corcoran, as he sang Bobby Mac, and we're going to continue with the great island talent right now. And boy, here's a name that, just like the rest of them here this evening, quite familiar with Prince Edward Islanders and Maritimers in general, Kelly Mooney. And boy, yeah, we hear Kelly quite a bit. And there she is. And boy, those are some big, some big shoes to fill tonight, Kelly. But tell us about what we have in display here before we get into the music part of it. Well, having a little audio problem with Kelly. I guess if the shoe fits, we're not going to wear it right now. She had a beautiful display of 4 large shoes there. But Kelly Mooney's going to get back with us shortly here. And I can tell her this is the happy hour portion of our 3-hour program here tonight, 6 to 7 o'clock, and then 7 o'clock till 9. We get on with a little more in the way of interviews, intertwined with some music as well, some presentations to be made, some notable speakers. We have the premier with us as well for a few words. So stay tuned. We're just getting underway. A couple of audio problems usually happens with live shows, but hopefully we can get this sorted out and get underway with this gala. And don't forget to support some of the local restaurants as part of this gala evening. We want to make it just like you would if you went out to a big gala with some nice bubbly maybe on the side, a nice meal from one of the local restaurants. They do deliver, as you know, with the circumstances that we're faced with right now. So the meal, maybe you want to dress up and put on that nice set of cufflinks that Bruce Rainey used to wear on Compass, but maybe you have nicer ones. I don't know, but I'll tell you what, let's all dress up, have a great night. It is Friday night, May the 1st. The wind is blowing outside and the skies are overcast, so no better place to be inside and supporting a great cause here. We're getting some people wondering where they can donate. I will get that information for you because this is indeed a fundraiser over the next couple of hours. So let's go right now to Chef Michael Smith. Yes, and he's going to show us how to bake something that everybody's doing because stores are running out of flour and stores are running out of yeast. Have I give you enough clues already? Here's Chef Michael Smith, and following Michael Smith, we'll have the COVID Kids. Stay tuned for the COVID Kids after Michael Smith, but let's head down towards the Surrey region into the kitchen of Chef Michael. Here we go.
Thanks, Boomer, and good to be here tonight. Welcome, everybody, to the Stay at Home Gala. Chef Michael Smith here in Fortune. I feel like I'm coming out of retirement. The organizers asked me to do a cooking demo, something I've certainly done a lot of over time, and I know that so many of us, more than ever before, are cooking at home right now, and that's awesome. The circumstances are tough, but we're cooking more than ever before, and certainly one of the holy grails of home cooking is a simple loaf of bread. So what do you do, though, if you don't have one of these great big fancy stand mixers at home? What if you don't have one of these, big technological marvels to knead all your bread for you? Well, you can do it the old-fashioned way, because the secret to good bread is not a machine like that. It's actually time, patience. I'll explain. But, I also worry that, hey, if I make this bread, big deal. Obviously he's a chef, he can make a loaf of bread, so I've got a better idea. I'd like to introduce you to my sous chef. Here's how a chef makes a loaf of bread. Sous chef, make a loaf of bread.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Ariella, and here at home in the Smith bubble, Ariella makes our bread for us almost every day. So take it away, darling. What do we got?
Well, we will start with getting 4 cups of white bread. Cool.
Flour?
Flour.
Okay, come on over. Bring that camera over here so we can see. And so 4 cups of white flour, is that what you said?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. 4 cups of white flour. That's our fancy bread drawer right there. We make a lot of bread around here. Now, Ariella's specialty is making what we think of as our toast bread. So it's white bread. Daddy likes to make it with things like this in it, whole wheat and oatmeal and grains. But right now we're going to show you how to just make a simple loaf of white bread for toast. So 4 cups of all-purpose flour. Okay. What's next?
Now we will get our yeast and our salt.
Yeast and salt, okay. So 4 ingredients in bread: flour, yeast, salt, and water. And then, of course, that fifth secret patient wait thing. Here we go. How much yeast, darling?
You do a teaspoon of yeast.
Okay.
You usually want to get as much as possible on the spoon, and you would pour it in. And then for the salt.
And it doesn't matter what kind of yeast. You can use any yeast you have. If it's in a package, in a bottle, any kind, any shape, yeast. 1 teaspoon. What's
and then when you use the tablespoon of salt, you try to get a good amount like this. not too filled up, and you just pour it in.
In other words, a little bit less salt than a tablespoon. Okay, so that's all our dry ingredients. What do we do now?
Now we put 2 cups of water and...
Why don't we mix them together first?
Sure.
Okay, there you go. And why are you using a whisk?
So then all of it gets all mixed up together and it's not all like in different parts. It's all
Daddy's a cookbook writer. Here's what I would say. I would say we're evenly distributing the finer powders amidst the coarser ones. How's that sound?
That sounds better than what I said.
Okay, what's next, baby?
You put 2 cups of water in, and I put a teaspoon instead of a 4th cup.
Okay, so 2 cups of water. What kind of water?
Warm water, not too hot, not too cold.
So kind of like feels warm to you, to your hands. And we do that, we use warm water because yeast is alive. And if we use cold water, we kind of shut the yeast down. And if we use super, super hot water, we'll kill the yeast. So best to use what feels like warm water, and there it is. Okay, so we've got 4 cups of flour, and you're gonna add just over 2 cups of water. Now, if you're a baker, you would know this to be a high hydration dough. In other words, lots of water, which makes it mix together really, really easily. And that really is the secret here. So you don't need the machine. So we're adding just a little bit more water. We've learned from experience, just a touch more than 2 cups of water. And now here comes the secret. Watch what happens next. The next step is how we avoid all that laborious kneading. Take it away, darling.
You will stir it like this to get as much dryness into the water as possible, so it's not hard to stir.
Okay.
And then when you're done with that, you kind of just use the tip of your spoon, not this part, because then it's harder. I just find it's easier. And you stir it.
Stir, stir, stir. Now watch what happens. Because there's so much water in this dough, it stirs together. And this is the secret right here. Rather than all of that strong kneading, that big machine, you can literally stir this dough together. Look at that. It does just come right together. And that's where that extra little teaspoon of water that Ariella added is so helpful. Okay, do your best there.
Yeah. It's very sticky.
And it doesn't kind of look right, does it? But
No,
it is absolutely right. This dough works. So here's what Daddy would do. Do you want me to stir it a bit more?
Sure.
All right. So sometimes it's hard for younger hands at this point, but at this point, just make sure you've got all the flour out of the bowl, okay? You just turn. See that? You can see nothing's left behind in that bowl. You can see that it came together easily. Nothing's really sticking to it. It's a good ratio, okay? So baby, what's the next step? What do we do now?
Now we will usually just let it sit overnight.
Sit overnight. That's the secret. You can mix this bread together in 60 seconds flat. You saw it with your own eyes. The secret though is now we have to let it rest overnight. And here's why. Because think of gluten in the bread. Think of gluten as the balloon. And think of yeast as the breath that blows up that balloon. Gluten doesn't need kneading to develop. It just needs time. Flour plus water plus time equals gluten, equals the balloon. So all night while we wait for this dough, the yeast will be blowing up the balloon, and then what does it look like?
Then it looks like this.
Will you look at that? This is the best part of all. This is the part all the kids like. So what do we do now? Maybe a little flour first, you think? Just a tiny bit?
A bit of flour on my hands,
So-
and then I'll put a bit here.
There you go, so it doesn't stick. And this is Ariella's dough made last night. So it's had about 10 hours or so to rise. You can see it's clearly alive and kicking. Okay.
All right,
Your
now.
hands are floured, the work surface is floured. Now comes the tricky part.
And then you put
Come
your
on in and watch. Look at that.
hand.
Look at that, it just falls right down. And you can see with your own eyes the gluten strands, all of that elastic stuff. That's just Mother Nature doing its thing. Okay,
And
baby.
you try to
Well,
pull
this
as
is the
much
tricky
as-
part. Here we go. I'll get your loaf pan ready. We use a standard loaf pan, and we like to just lightly mist it with a little bit of spray oil.
I just kind of flour it up so it's not too sticky on the...
Right, looking good. Can you get it to roll a little bit? Try and make that ball. Remember what I showed you? Look at that now.
Kind of hard. I'm still learning how to do it.
This is tricky, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
But what have you learned, baby? You've made a lot of bread in the last month or so. Have you learned anything?
Yes, you tuck it under, like it's kind of like if you were, I don't know, if you were tucking yourself into bed, you would tuck.
Beautiful.
Tuck.
That's awesome.
Tuck.
Okay.
And then you grab it and toss it in.
Just like that. Okay, now what do we do?
Then we let it sit for a few hours, so I'll just set it here.
Sit for a few hours, somewhere warm, maybe in the sun, and it will double. Now, we didn't have a chance to make one so we could show you, but you've seen this before. That dough is going to rise again. It's going to completely come out of that pan. It's going to double. And when it does and it fills the pan, then it's time to bake. We bake this bread for 45 minutes at 425 degrees. And this is what it's going to look like when it's all done. Okay? Should we have a piece, baby?
Yeah, sure.
Want to try a piece? Okay. Let's see. Where's okay. I like to use a serrated knife for this. Now this is one of the loaves that Daddy made. So this one's more of a whole grain loaf. All of these variations are in the recipe that's online. This recipe is available at the Stay At Home Gala website. It's on my website, and it's on the Meyer Canada cookware website as well. This is a batch that I made with a little bit of oatmeal and whole wheat flour. We really like your batch for toast, don't we?
I know, I love it. It's so good.
Cool. So, baby, what's the best part about making bread around here?
You get to kind of make it yourself, and you don't have to think about, like, oh, I have to go to the store and get my own bread. It's going to take, I have to make sure I have enough money to get the bread, or all that kind of stuff. It's kind of better just to get your own bread. Make it, and it's tastier, I find.
How does it feel knowing that you're making bread for your family?
Feels good. Yeah. I know that they're enjoying it, and it's not, like made, like, I don't know. It's just
right on.
better.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's been awesome sharing with you today this super simple bread recipe. You really can do this at home. You don't need machinery. And hey, if Ariella can do it, then, well, any one of us can do it. Now, before we go, I want to introduce you to one key person. Give me that camera here. We'll just say, hey, thanks to Gabriel Duncan Smith for holding the camera for us tonight. And good job, baby. Right on. Boomer, back to you. Boomer.
Hello, is this thing on? Can you guys hear me? Hi, we're the COVID kids. This is my brother Oliver. I don't think he's gonna speak because he loves Lego way too much. We have exciting news today, everybody. Huh? We do? Oh yeah, we do. Ooh. We are pleased to announce and show you these two wonderful buttons. This button will get all the wonderful eating and staying home entertainment. If I touch this button, it will start the virus. Oliver, what have you done? No! Post this into your elbow. Which one's broken? Which one is this? The entertainment one or the COVID one? All you have to do, I guess, is press the button. Boop.
Hey, you gotta love the COVID kids. Yeah, they press the right button, and it's the button for the Community Foundation Stay At Home Online Gala. We'd like to thank the COVID kids and Chef Michael and his daughter Ariella for the beautiful bread that a lot of people can't make because they can't find the ingredients lately with the yeast and stuff. Hey, I think we have Kelly Mooney back with us now. We have the audio all squared up. I can't wait. First of all, Kelly, welcome to the show. And you got to explain these shoes or boots. Boy, they are stylish.
Hey, how are ya?
Good.
What did you do?
Okay, maybe.
Yeah, so I have a lot of love for my life. I have dogs, I have family, I have a husband, and that's not in any order of importance. And I have shoes. I love my shoes, and I thought maybe it might be fun to do something funny tonight rather than do something serious. And so I thought
So
I'd
with all
bring some of
those
my best friends to join me.
Yeah, so with all those shoes, can we expect some soul music? See what I did there?
Oh, you're funny. You're funny. Yeah. No
Anyway,
soul, just a little bit of
okay.
goofy.
All right, Kelly, take it away, and we'll have a little chit chat after you do your song and with the shoes and boots around you there. Take it away, Kelly.
All righty. So this is my love song to my shoes, called the Shoe Song. 1 foot in front of the other. Sometimes it takes all of my will to keep my chin up, try not to give up when I just can't take one more step. My chin falls and I hang my head. I look down at my brand new Manolos, my Pradas and my Jimmy Choos. Each one is my friend, my soulmate to the end. Oh, leather high heel, I love you. And my black studded boots love you too. Sometimes I love shoes more than you do. I'm sorry, but honey, it's true. When you make me mad, I feel fat or I'm sad. All that I ever need do is go down to my closet and view all my Pradas and Fendis and Gucci's. All my doubts and my cares fly away. They're simply divine, like a finely aged wine. Oh, blue satin shoe, I love you. And my red leather boots love you too. We don't really need a spare bedroom. My shoes need a place to live too. Nobody ever comes to stay anyway, and I need some more room for my shoes. And if you don't like it, you can go too. And I love all my brand new Manolos, my Pradas and my Jimmy Choos. Each one is my friend, my soul. There's your soul. Made till the end. Oh, Christian Louboutin, I love you. And these are the Christian Louboutins right here that I love so much. And Christian Dior, love you too. But I'll wear some more frequently. I love you all equally. When I'm with you, I never feel blue. I love you. I love you. My shoes.
Whoa, yeah, whoa, great. I'll tell you what, Kelly, that was a great song, and I love my Merrill sandals too. You want to try that one? So a song about shoes, and how many pairs of shoes would you have?
Oh dear. My husband's looking at me, so I'm going to say 20, but that's a lie. It's probably creeping up around maybe 310 pair.
310. Whoa, I thought I had a lot of Hawaiian shirts at one time, but you got me beat with the shoes, believe me.
Well,
Kelly, tell us about your background in music. And I know you sang for the Pope when he was in Halifax years ago. You've done a bit of a remake of the song Hallelujah, Leonard Cohen's song. You've had a good run at it. You continue to play. What a voice we heard tonight. But tell us some of those highlights I just mentioned that you've been a part of.
oh wow. Well, singing for the Pope, I would think I was 13 or 14, something like that. And one of the biggest memories I have is climbing. It felt like 1,000 stairs up to the top of the stage. And I picked the two weirdest songs I could have ever picked to sing for the Pope. One was Georgia, like Ray Charles, Georgia. And the other one was Last Time I Saw Him by Diana Ross. I don't know why I picked those, but anyway. So that was a highlight. And yes, of course, Leonard Cohen, the Hallelujah thing has just been such a blessing in my life. And I've gotten to meet so many people and chat with so many folks from around the world. And it's just been a wonderful thing that's happened. And I got to travel to sing at one of the biggest churches in the United States a few years ago, and got to sing on the Bluebird stage, the Bluebird Cafe in Nashville a couple times, and get to sing at my parents' kitchen table. I guess that's probably the biggest highlight I could probably state right now these times. Can't wait to do it again.
Oh, yeah, we all can't wait to get back to the family gatherings. And what have you been doing in your downtime? Any writing or just practicing for hopefully some upcoming concerts, Kelly?
Well, I'm actually working from home, so it's still full time at home, which is a wonderful thing, and I feel so fortunate to be able to do that. And yeah, working on a few tunes, not doing a whole lot, but working on a few tunes and trying to keep the old fingers nimble and playing piano and guitar and playing with the dogs and trying to get outside as much as we can and trying to keep things relatively normal, but it's kind of a weird thing to do. I've started making cinnamon rolls again, so Chef Michael Smith, you think you can make a better cinnamon roll than me? I'll put you up to the challenge. But that bread looked really good.
Yeah, it did look really good, and I'll get in on that challenge as well for the cinnamon rolls. But Kelly, we want to thank you for being with us here tonight, and if you want to keep your fingers nimble, you might want to lace up those boots a couple of times a day. That should get the old fingers flowing there. Whoa, yeah.
I will tell you, these belonged to my Aunt Enid, and I'll bet you she was probably in her 70s the last time she wore these.
Wow, you could kick the eye out of a fly with those on. Kelly, thanks for joining us. All right, it was a pleasure having you. We're glad we got the audio fixed up. Kelly Mooney, ladies and gentlemen, and we're heading to the top of the hour. 2 hours left here in our Community Foundation Stay at Home online gala. Boy, don't leave your seat. Maybe you want it for a couple of minutes because there's still a couple of minutes till the top of the clock. I want to tell you about some shirts that are on sale by the company that is making these. It's called, I'm just going to check it here, the Golden Custom Clothing. This is what Dennis King is known for with this COVID battle we're into. Stay the heck home. There's also Minister Myers and also, let's see, Mayor Philip Brown of Charlottetown. So $10 from every shirt sold goes to our fundraiser here tonight for the COVID-19 Impact Relief Fund. And to purchase one of these shirts, go to cfpei.staygolden.ca, cfpei.staygolden.ca. We're going to take just a short break here. You may want to refill your glass and maybe perk up your plate. I know I'm going to have mine served to me here momentarily. So it is a gala and a gala meal, gala entertainment. And folks, thanks for joining us. We'll be right back. Maybe want to take a couple of minutes break, but don't miss any more of this show tonight. We get 2 more hours of great entertainment. Stay tuned.
Good evening. I'm Jonathan Ross. This is Dexter, and this is Summer. I'm president of the Community Foundation of PEI, and it's my privilege to welcome you all to our kitchen and to the first ever PEI online gala. Since 1914, community foundations across North America have been driving local solutions that help communities flourish. The Community Foundation of PEI was incorporated in 1993, and since that time we have granted over $3 million to worthy community projects and individual scholarships. We offer a user-friendly vehicle for donors to create endowment funds to support charitable activities in the province. Income generated from these investments is directed through grants and scholarships to support a wide range of diverse needs in Prince Edward Island communities. Because of the permanent nature of these endowments, income is available for now and generations to come. In addition to our endowments, the Foundation has a broader community building and leadership role. That is why we wanted to do this online gala. We realize that this pandemic and the response to it will affect our most vulnerable, including many of the island's not-for-profits. Funds raised this evening will go towards helping those affected by COVID-19. If you'd like to make a donation, please visit www.cfpei.ca. Not only will every donation receive a tax receipt, the Community Foundation of PEI and the Department of Fisheries and Communities will match every dollar donated up to a maximum of $25,000 each, meaning every dollar you donate turns into $3. At this time of uncertainty, we want you to take a step back and enjoy an evening of entertainment and fellowship in celebration of all things PEI, while also abiding by the social distancing measures and supporting our local restaurant industry. This evening, we are excited to announce a new island-wide fundraiser, a fully 100% online Chase the Ace lottery, the first of its kind on PEI, with proceeds going to our COVID-19 Community Impact Fund. Visit www.chasetheacepei.ca to get your tickets. Before I turn it over to Boomer to get things started, I need to make a few thank yous. First of all, thanks to Boomer for agreeing to be the host this evening. And Dexter, do you want to stand up? Show everyone that you're channeling your inner Boomer with wearing shorts with your blazer this evening. Thanks, Dex. And thank you, Boomer, for agreeing to be host. A special thank you to our executive director, Ken Hudson, who was the brainchild of this event and really its true champion, putting it all together. Thanks to all the celebrities and entertainers that jumped on board right away. I don't think we had a single no. And of course, thanks to all our sponsors who made this evening possible. And last but definitely not least, thanks to all of you who not only participating this evening and are donating, but also thanks for being so understanding when we postpone this event out of respect for those affected by the tragedy in Nova Scotia. Before I turn it back over to Boomer to get started, please all bow your heads for a moment of silence out of respect for the tragedy in Nova Scotia.
Yes, stay strong, Nova Scotia. Well, are we on right now? Because we are enjoying, Karen and I ordered at one of the local restaurants here, and it was Sim's Restaurant for our local restaurant that we are supporting here tonight for the gala. And as you can see, one of my faves, a steak, salad, a few carrots. So it is a gala meal, it is a gala evening, and we hope you are joining us. A little glass of your favorite beverage, water right up until cognac, as I mentioned earlier. Maybe some whiskey or whatever floats your boat and your tonsils tonight. Get it in you over the next couple of hours. Don't forget to support local. And I'd like to say hi to my little 3-year-old granddaughter, Grace May. Enjoy your spaghetti you're having up in Bedeck tonight. Yeah, with Mommy Bethany and Ruth Ann and Kenny. All right, Grace May, and go to bed early tonight. Maybe not till after 9 o'clock, as Grampy Boom said that. But folks, we are in for quite a night of entertainment. The next couple of hours, we have entertainment from... we're going to see Richard Wood. We're going to see Lenny Gallant. And as you just heard Jonathan say, nobody said no. We have hockey superstars, golf superstars, basketball from the island. boy, this island is rich in music, sports, and lots of entertainment. And we're going to see them talk here tonight, interviews. Some had to be done a little sooner than tonight, so some pre-recorded, but you will enjoy what they have to say from their perspective in their chosen fields of sports and business. And I can tell you right now that things are very hot in the island as far as our government is concerned, but our good Premier, Dennis King, took time out to say a big hello. Busy as he was, this is a little pre-record because he is so busy. But let's have a listen right now to welcome to this great night of the Community Foundation's online gala from Mr. Premier Dennis King.
Well, thank you very much, Boomer. And I know my hair is officially out of control, but I also know my good friend Boomer Gallant would love to have these glorious locks flowing. So, but thank you very much, and I really do appreciate the efforts of you, Boomer, and everybody across PEI who have made this stay-at-home gala what it is. I'm very honored to be part of this. It's the first of its kind event in PEI. I'm not able to join you live, but I'm certainly watching along and cheering hard for everyone, and am immensely proud of our island family for coming together like this. The Community Foundation of PEI has followed Dr. Morrison's advice, come together by staying apart. This is a classic example of that, and it's turned into something really, really wonderful and special. Islanders, as we know, are generous by nature. They give, they want to be there for one another, and this is a great opportunity to do so and to raise some money tonight for those who need it. We're in for quite a show, there's no doubt about it. When I look at the list, I mean, Ava and Lily, wow, talk about a bright future, talk about talent, oh my. And what an incredible run they've had already, and just so much runway ahead of them. My friend Joey Kitson, is there a better pound for pound singer? I don't think so. Tara MacLean, and of course Lenny, who I think, Lenny, you've heard me say this before, but I think Lenny's song Island Clay is the quintessential song about life in Prince Edward Island and its history. What an incredible piece of songwriting, what a wonderful song, and one of just dozens and dozens that Lenny has penned and has helped put us on the map as Islanders. So just thank you to everyone who's participating. Thank you for doing everything that you are doing to make this possible. Thank you to the Community Foundation for an amazing job of organizing this and putting it together. And if you're out there watching tonight, and if you can give, please do. The money will be given to those who need it the very most, and really want to say thank you for this amazing initiative. I can't wait to see what it all brings, and enjoy tonight. And on behalf of the government of PEI and all Islanders, I encourage you all to stay safe.
Well, Dennis, you said I didn't have a lot of hair, but all of a sudden, look at that. Boy, I just got a hairdresser that was open, and I did stay 6 feet apart while I was getting the locks done. So despite what you said, Premier King, I do have hair, and it comes attached to this hat. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to move right along now to a very special presentation, if I can see her with the hair in my eyes here, from the city of Charlottetown. And let's go to Mayor Philip Brown.
Good evening, everyone. Hope you're all enjoying the Community Foundation Stay at Home Gala 2020. Lori and I are here at home watching the great entertainment and also the celebrities that are tuning in tonight. So first of all, I want to take a moment just to thank everyone out there that are following the protocols set out by the Chief Medical Officer and her team, staying at home, staying apart, and doing our part. And furthermore, I want to thank the essential workers that are providing services for all residents day in and day out. They're making things easier for us by showing up to work and providing those services. But today we're here to make a very special presentation, and it's the key to the city. And I want to present it not only to just Dr. Morrison, who represents all the healthcare workers, and Marion Dowling, but this is for all of you. And some may say, is this about a mission accomplished? No, it's about staying on mission, which is, for me, it is very clear that we have to look at stay strong, stay safe, stay at home, and if you do have to go out, stay close to home, be smart, stay apart. We all have to do our part. We're going to get through this together. Ça va bien aller. So as part of my presentation, I have a scroll to read aloud to Dr. Marion, to Dr. Heather Morrison and Marion. So on this 24th day of April in the year 2020, I, Philip Brown, Mayor of the City of Charlottetown, the birthplace of Confederation, do hereby present Dr. Heather Morrison, Marion Dowling, and all frontline healthcare professionals with the key to the City of Charlottetown. This prestigious presentation is in recognition of all their hard work and dedication through this public health emergency. We thank you, merci beaucoup, for everything you continue to do to keep us safe through COVID-19 pandemic. Philip Brown, Office of the Mayor. And of course, the key is an actual gold key to be presented to both Dr. Heather Morrison and Marion Dowling and all those dedicated healthcare workers out there. Thank you, merci beaucoup.
It's an honor, and alongside Marion Dowling, to accept the key to the city on behalf of ourselves, but really on behalf of the frontline healthcare workers. This is an unprecedented time, and all Islanders are working together to get through this one step at a time. The unwavering dedication of our frontline healthcare workers has been and continues to be very important as we navigate this situation. And we're so lucky and so fortunate to have such a hardworking, passionate team of healthcare workers. I'm very proud of how far all Islanders have come, and now optimistically, yet cautiously, looking forward. So thank you very much, Mayor, and again, I'm honored on behalf of all of us to receive this key.
Again, it's a privilege for me to represent the city of Charlottetown, the residents of Charlottetown. But again, we know how hard the whole group of you are working, and we know that it is uncertain times, but we are following the protocols, and I'm asking residents to continue to follow the protocols because we can, or we will get through this together.
Well, on behalf of all the essential workers in the health system, it's an honor for me to accept the key from you, Mr. Mayor, to the City of Charlottetown. I do want to recognize that those who work in our healthcare system are really called to that work, and they want to provide safe, high-quality care, and their dedication has been inspirational throughout the response to this global crisis, really. And the honor does belong to all those frontline workers, and we have a wonderful team here within Health PEI, but we've also partnered with other organizations like private long-term care and other areas on the island who provide essential healthcare services to Islanders that are very important, and everybody has stepped up to support this effort. So I just want to recognize a few within our system, like our community hospitals and our home-based care teams that have really stepped up to accept additional patients into their service areas and provide that high-quality care to them during this time, to create capacity within our larger acute care hospitals that have done amazing work to create space for potential COVID patients. We also have a number of staff who've been supporting the response in the cough and fever clinics, our primary healthcare physicians and staff, and our public health staff and nursing that are essential to those clinics running, every day, 7 days a week, and transportation staff, the East Link Center staff, who've really been supportive of all of those services happening, and we couldn't do it without everybody's help. So just thank you from us in the health system to also those other people who are supporting this effort as we go forward. Our lab staff have provided incredible effort toward the testing so that we can have the ability to manage this situation, and Dr. Morrison has results to balance the measures and enable us to maybe now release some and have that hope and some light of how we're moving forward. So I think we just have had so many people, and one other group I just want to mention is our mental health and addictions teams who have really stepped up to continue offering services. They've moved their services to alternate locations. They've shifted staff. IT has supported them. Biomed staff, everybody is really helping make these things happen. But making sure we have ongoing care for Islanders at the same time of being prepared for the worst of what we've seen this situation do in other places. So thank you to you, Mr. Mayor, for the recognition of our frontline workers and our healthcare providers in this changing times.
Marion, again, I know that both you and Dr. Heather Morrison are the voices of all the healthcare workers, but they know, I know, everybody knows the great work that the whole area, that the whole healthcare field is doing as part of this crisis that we're facing today. And again, I really appreciate the opportunity on behalf of myself as mayor of the city, Charlottetown City Council, and the residents to present this key to the city. Thank you, merci beaucoup. And Heather, make sure you say hi to your mother, Mary Lou, that I'm thinking about her.
Sounds good. Bye.
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 Well, there you have it. We just saw 4 familiar faces that are in quite a race as we battled this virus. Dr. Heather Morrison, also Marion, along with Mayor Phillip and Premier Dennis King. Speaking of a horse race, what? I think I can make a horse race out of them. All right, race number 1, top of the stretch. Here they come. Has won Dr. Heather M. 2 on the outside is King Denny Hanover, Mayor Philip Brown. Here they come. 4 is a Nurse Marion D. They're off and pacing into the first turn. Dr. Heather M. with the lead. There goes King Denny Hanover on the outside. That's Marion D. third, and trailing the field, Mayor Philip Brown. They have an 1/8 of a mile left to go. Dr. Heather M. with the lead. Nurse Marion D. on the outside. King Denny Hanover on the inside. And Mayor Philip Brown has gone into isolation for 14 days. Right down to the wire. They're 6 feet apart. Dr. Heather M., Nurse Marion D., and King Denny Hanover neck and neck. It's going to be Dr. Heather M. to win it. Up for second is Nurse Marion D., King Denny Hanover 3, and we'll check on Mayor Philip Brown's horse in 14 days. Well, quite a horse race there, folks. Don't forget to cash your tickets. The early favorite was Dr. Heather M., and she did prevail with the victory here tonight in the Community Foundation Invitational Pace. Well, I'm a Gallant. Let's go to a Gallant, and one of the more famous Gallants in all of the world, hailing from Rustico. Hey, there they are, Lenny and Patricia. Boy, what a thrill it is to have these folks on with us tonight, and they are going to sing us a tune. But Lenny, a few good things have happened despite this virus going around for you and Patricia. Big national concert online, 75,000 viewers. Tell us what that feels like to have that many people chime in on your performance.
Oh, it's great to be part of the National Arts Center online concert series, Boomer. It's nice to be able to try to provide a little bit of comfort for those people stuck at home and during this day. And we've been doing a number of online performances and probably be doing a lot more as long as this goes on. So it was a lot of fun. And it's still actually up there online on my Facebook if anybody wants to check it out.
All right, check it out on Facebook. And of course, you well know the circumstances in Nova Scotia the past few weeks, but your rendition of Farewell to Nova Scotia was played during a ceremonial tribute to the last few weeks in Nova Scotia. You guys got to be pretty proud of that as well, Lenny.
It was a real honor to be able to participate in a tribute to the victims. CBC called me and asked me if they could use a recording I had made of Farewell Nova Scotia. And very sad thing to be involved in, but at the same time, as a songwriter, it's nice to be able to contribute something to help try to provide some solace in very difficult circumstances. And, so it's nice to be able to do that.
Yeah, for sure. And you're a songwriter, as we well know, and very successful at it. You have a new album out. You just won a Canadian Folk Music Award for it. Tell us about your new album, CD, Time Travel, Lenny.
Well, it's an album that's been out just about a year now, and we're very proud of it. I think it's one of the best albums I've made, and it's been doing quite well, getting good reviews. And as you say, it won an award a couple of weeks ago. We had to do the awards were held online because of COVID, of course. It's going quite well. And unfortunately, we just had to cancel a big tour that was going to take us through Eastern Canada, up in Quebec and Ontario because of COVID. A lot of summer dates are also being canceled. We hope to make up for them after this thing is all over. But we do invite people to come touch on our website and try to check the album out online if possible. How are you doing, Boomer? I really like your shirt tonight.
Oh, thank you very much.
You know, the last time we performed with you for a benefit concert, I particularly liked the duds you were wearing. Patricia and I were performing, if you remember, it was a concert in Somerset 5 years ago.
Yes.
And, I was hoping you might show up with something a little bit along that line tonight. And in fact, it had such a big impact on us that we happen to have a photograph of it. And it was a special place in the house here in Montcarmel. And in fact, Patricia happens to have a copy of it right here.
Oh my God, that's Elvis Presley. Well, thank you very much. Thank you. Wise men say. Anyway, thank you, Patricia. Wow. I feel honored to have that. That's in the living room, right? Not in the bathroom.
No, it's not in the bathroom.
All right, Lenny and Patricia, you guys are going to sing us a song right now and give us a little background on what we're about to hear.
Well, as you know, and many Islanders know, I wrote and was performing in a show called Searching for Abergwite for quite a few years. I was going to run 1 year. It ended up running 5 seasons, and we took it on tour on the East Coast of Canada. Very proud of that show. And I thought we'd do one of the title songs from that show. This one's called Abergwite, which all Islanders know was the original name for Prince Edward Island. Epicwait or Abergwite is a more common pronunciation of that name, of that word. And this is the first time we're ever trying this, just the two of us. We usually have a band, and we usually have Francis, big Maha singer, singing along to this song as well. So we can't pull it off. But I'm going to ask your technician if he can do something for me, because everything I say to you is coming back to me. It's going to be really hard. It's hard enough to talk like that, but it's going to be really hard to sing like that if I hear myself. So if he can turn off the feedback so I don't hear myself right after I'm speaking.
I can just
or
turn
we
it
can.
on.
Oh, I tell you what, we can turn the volume down here.
All right, here we go.
Yep, when you're done.
Okay. So this is called Abergwite from Searching for Abergwite, and nice to be part of this evening, and nice to be part of this gala. Oh, we didn't toast. We do want to make a toast to Heather and Marion and Dennis and all the frontline workers, and ask everyone at home, here's to you guys for doing an amazing job. Cheers. So here we go. This is Abergwite.
He did turn it off.
Hey. From the legend of Great Blue Sky, from the people of the dawn, this name was given to you, so tender and so strong. Born of storm and fury, from an ocean cold and deep, came an island where the Great Spirit would lay his head to sleep. Abergwite, cradled on the waves, gently rock me home tonight. I'll forever stay. Evergreen, sing to me your song. When I hear your melody, I know where I belong. Over dunes that line the shoreline, through the black spruce on the cliffs, down in the furrowed fields of red, your melody will drift. Then I rise up on the eagle's wings, dive into the sea, to the rhythm of survival and the life you gave to me. In the Strathspey at the Kealan, the Acadian complaint, or the heartache of the journey, safe arrival in the dance. All the birds song in the morning, all the boats head out to sea. I can hear the elders calling out the name you are to me. Evergreens, cradled on the waves, gently rock me home tonight. I'll forever stay. Evergreen, sing to me your song. When I hear your lullaby, I know where I belong. Where I belong. Where I belong. Where I belong. On the way, gently rock me home tonight. I'll forever stay. Evergreen, sing to me your song. When I hear your lullaby, I know where I belong. From the legend of Great Glooskap, from the people of the dawn, this name was given to you. Now we know where we belong. Evergreen, evergreen, evergreen.
All right, there it is, Patricia Richard and Lenny Gallant with Evergreen. And thanks, folks, for joining us here tonight. I know it takes a bit of a time out of your schedule, and we don't really have one, everybody, right now. But again, thanks for your contribution. A great song, and all the best in the future weeks and months as we battle with this virus, and hopefully things get back on track. All right, folks, we're moving right along now, and yeah, right on. We're moving right along to, we have a recorded interview right now, and we have with us Adam McQuaid and Eli McCachran. Now, Adam McQuaid with the Boston Bruins, Eli, of course, the first Olympic gold medalist in Prince Edward Island. They're very busy with some off and on things to do, but we had a chance to chat with them just a couple of days ago, and here's the interview. All right, things going great here in the early part of the evening for the Community Foundation Stay At Home Gala online party that we're having here tonight. And I have with me here, very honored to have Adam McQuaid, former of the Boston Bruins Stanley Cup champions, Dave Eli McCachran, Olympic, I repeat, Olympic gold medalist. We're going to start with Adam. Adam, young boy from Prince Edward Island, your heyday in the NHL with the Boston Bruins. Tell us about coming from the backyard rink here in the island to the Stanley Cup, holding it on the ice as you won it.
Yeah, first off, I want to say hi to everyone back home. Thinking about you, and hopefully I'm able to get get back and see everyone soon. Yeah, I mean, I'm so proud of where I come from. I think growing up on the island, it gave me a great opportunity to be around, a lot of hardworking people, honest people, very supportive, and I grew up playing the North River minor hockey. Such great memories, the old North River rink. Then went on to Sudbury and then started pro from there. But always felt the great support from the island, and like I said, I'm just so proud to be an Islander and be from Prince Edward Island.
To hold that cup, what did it feel like, Adam?
I mean, it's surreal. Obviously, it's one of those things that, as a hockey player, that's what you strive towards. You want to, it's kind of like the ultimate prize, if you will. So I'll never forget, the battle of the playoffs, and the camaraderie with the guys, and getting to come back to Boston, first time in 39 years since they had won the cup, and the reception we got here, and then getting to take the cup back to PEI and have a parade through my hometown in Cornwall, and all the Islanders that came out to support me and see the cup that day. It was fun to share it with everybody, and I look back on it with such fond memories.
That's right. A lot of Bruins fans here in Prince Edward Island, and a lot of people asking about Brad Marchand. He's a little bit of a pest on the ice. We all know. What kind of a guy is Brad Marchand? Someone said, make sure you ask Adam that tonight.
It's a good question. I mean, it's one of those things you can't judge guys by how they play by any means. I think Marshy and I have become great friends over the years. We started playing in Providence together. He played against my brother growing up. That he was from Nova Scotia, my brother on the island. So I've known him for a really long time. He's a great friend. He's a great family man, and he's one of those guys that he plays a certain way that he gets under people's skin, but he's a guy that everyone wants on their team.
You got that right. And just talking to Bruce Rainey earlier today, so make sure you bring this up. The night I predicted that you would score from the blue line with a slap shot, top corner, and did it happen?
It did, and I told you, I said you probably should have went and bought a lottery ticket that night as well, because probably just as good a chance of that happening, but good on you.
Yeah, should have done the forecast a little better over 31 years, but that was a great run to Stanley Cup. Hey, look at this, folks. Dave Eli McCachran, the first Olympic gold medalist from Prince Edward Island, and 22 years ago, Dave, tell us about that moment at the Olympics.
Oh boy. Well, from my perspective, it was only 1 o'clock in the afternoon, but it was 2:30, or I think when it actually happened here. But it's a 4-heat race, and it's ran over 2 days. And we were sitting in second right from the very first run. And athletically, we were a little frustrated because we were the fastest starting team in the world, but other people were finding ways to make up that time, and they kept beating us to the bottom, which ultimately is all that really matters in that sport. And but our fourth run was the fastest run of those Olympics, and we had the fastest start time and the fastest run. And so we were sitting at the bottom with the silver medal, which was a pretty neat feeling. But we had to wait and watch the Italians come down. And of course, we beat them by 2300ths of a second on the run time, which meant an accumulative tie to the 100th of a second, over 4.5 kilometers of racing at 130, 140K. So pretty bizarre probabilities of that happening, but it was a heart-stopping moment. I just, I was, like I said, I was elated to be finally on the Olympic podium in my third Olympics. But, to have that chunk of gold hang around your neck, it was everything a young athlete dreams from, regardless of where they're from. But that particular one, I believe, was Atlantic Canada's first Olympic gold medal. And it was just a great experience.
Oh, good for you. And after the Olympics, life has been good to you, still in the training mode for young people that excel in their different sports. And you could name a number of names that people are familiar with that you train, Dave, and I think one of them's on our screen right now. But, yeah, your training techniques have brought some people to the forefront in their sport.
Yeah, I was very proud. I think many of our guests tonight I've trained, or I've trained like Clark MacLean. I've trained Doug's son. I've trained Adam's brother, sister, 3 of his cousins. Of course, Eli Sport began in June 1st of 2000 when PEI's Brad Richards, another guest tonight, won the Memorial Cup and was named CHL Player of the Year. And within 2 days of that happening, Brad and I were sitting down, and he said, "Can you make me bigger and can you make me faster?" And I said, "I know I can." And so that was a relationship that was forged. He was coming from Murray Harbor, and I was living in Lakeside, and we met in Montague, and we trained out of the back of my truck on the old dirt track, Montague High School. So that was the genesis of Eli Sport, and that was a great kickstart to anyone's. Brad went down there and took no prisoners, and 4 years later, Richie was a Stanley Cup champion and one of the fastest guys in the team. So I was really proud of that, to have a piece of that with him, and got to be there for his Stanley Cup final. And then within 24 months, guys like Nathan McKeever and Adam McQuaid and Jared Connaughton, and just household names now that we all grew up watching and or appreciate just their accomplishments in their sports. So to be a part of that and to be here in such a small little spot and to be still doing it. I mean, I started training Adam McQuaid. He walked in 6'4" and 160 pounds. And
he walked out what?
I think we got him up to 221 one year.
Wow.
But it was always fun to see him come home, just like a soaking little kind of kitty. He was so small when he got home, but when he left, he literally looked like Hercules. So, it was always fun to transform people and say, "Is it possible I feel?"
Yeah.
To empower people with knowledge and information relevant to modern sport, right? And that's really what I do. I didn't learn that here. I had to move away, and I got exposed to amazing speed coaches and the best strength and conditioning and sprinting coaches in the world. And it feels great to come home and to give people my version of what I learned from the best people in their craft. And that's really what I've had the joy of doing. I'm still doing it. I got 3 boys of my own in my program now, and 3 current NHLers that have been really inspired by the guy on the screen here with me, Adam McQuaid. He's been such a gem and source of inspiration for a whole other generation of people. And I was talking to him. Adam said, "You were at my grade 6 elementary school speaking," and I think that year I spoke to about 250,000 kids across the country with different sponsors and stuff. But I can't say I remember the day, but I remember the day he walked in my gym. And I remember the day, it was 2003, and 8 years later, I got the pleasure of watching him 3 games live, 2 in Vancouver, 1 in Boston, and got to see him score his first NHL goal, got to see him score his first power play goal. So just little nuggets of information like that. And I've had the pleasure of, growing so connected, to Adam, and not just on the field, but, coming to my 3-year-old's birthday party at McDonald's with Nathan McKeever, things like that stick out in my head. His knees were up around, the chair was so small, and Adam's knees were up around his head. And he was sitting there with a bunch of 6-year-olds eating little tiny cheeseburgers and stuff. So
wow.
Just a lot of heartwarming memories. And, now I'm working with guys like Roscoe Johnson and Ryan Graves. We got adopted here from Yarmouth, Nova Scotia, and of course, Zach McEwen. And just I get to do it all over again. It feels like I just keep meeting really amazing people, and it's really fun to do what I do.
Well, it's nice to have the 2 amazing people on the screen with us here tonight, and thanks for donating some of your time. Really appreciate it, folks. Adam McQuaid, Stanley Cup champ with the Boston Bruins. Dave Eli McArthur, Olympic gold medalist in bobsledding. Folks, thanks for joining us tonight. All the best this summer, and may see you out in the golf course. Oh, we're on. My steak was good. Meal we got from Sim Steakhouse. Hopefully you support it local and enjoying your gala meal here this evening. Well, we're going back and forth, athletes and music. What a nice mix we have here tonight. And boy, do we have a talent to play for us right now. Ladies and gentlemen, Tara MacLean. And of course, no strange name to Prince Edward Island. And there's she. Hi, Tara. And of course, she's performed right across, well, let's say the world, and performed once with Shay, Dominic Doyle, and Kim Stockwood. She was in Atlantic Blue, and of course, that was the name of her album. But Tara, tell us the song you're going to sing tonight, a little background on it.
I wrote was a song that I wrote for Heather. I'm going to take my earpiece out.
Having a little audio problem with Tara there this evening. You know, it was the earphone or the microphone. But yeah, we are still in the throes here of a great evening of entertainment. And don't forget, you can donate. Go back to the homepage of cfpei.ca and click on donate. Again, all money's raised here this evening. And of course, you can buy one of those great shirts, Islanderisms, from Minister Myers, Premier King, or Mayor Philip Brown. So I think we may have the problem solved with Tara. Hopefully, can't wait to hear her sing. But let's go back to Tara. Is she there with us, folks? Or there she is. Can you hear us, Tara? Don't you love live TV? This is amazing. Tara MacLean. Oh, there. That's a better picture. Can you hear us now, Tara?
Hello, come in.
Hi, we got you. Yeah. All right. Maybe you could tell us just a brief background on the song you're going to sing for us here tonight, Tara. Oh, dear. All right. Fiddly diddly, catch a riddly. I remember that song. Anyways, too bad Tara's all set to go. Hopefully we can get that squared away. But we think we may go now to an interview. Again, a pre-record that we did from previous this week. We changed the plans from last Friday night to this Friday night. So here we have an interview with two young Prince Edward Islanders who are in the NHL. And without further ado, let's have a look at the interview previous to a couple of days ago with Ross Johnson and Noah Dobson of the NHL's New York Islanders. Well, folks, the Community Foundation Stay At Home Gala tonight continues, and I have two Prince Edward Islanders who are New York Islanders when it comes to NHL hockey, and boy, they're making a mark in their early careers. I have with me Ross Johnson and Noah Dobson, both from the island and both players with the New York Islanders of the NHL. I'm going to start with the veteran of this group, although they're still young pups. Ross, the NHL. Tell us about your first game from Prince Edward Island. You're making the bigs with the New York Islanders.
It was pretty special. I played my first game, I guess, after my first year pro. I don't really count that one. I like to count the one where, I guess, 2 years later when I was called up to Chicago and my parents were able to make the trip, and it was pretty special. They flew in the morning of. I found out the day before, and the whole sequence of the events and having them there and actually getting my first NHL point that night was pretty special. So it's something that I'll cherish forever, and I think it's something that they're pretty grateful that they're able to see, I guess, the first NHL game, and fortunately enough that there's been a lot to follow, which is great.
Yeah, you've had a pretty good year going this year until the shutdown. And what do you attribute that to, Ross? Just maybe a little more experience, but you tell us.
I think experience always goes a long way. Last year was kind of a year to step back and watch the game a little more. And in doing that, you get to learn the systems more and you get to know the guys you're playing with. And not only that you're playing with, but their personality as well. So being able to learn the systems and know the guys a little better going into this year kind of gave me a better chance to, I guess, maybe succeed on the ice a little more and maybe earn a little more playing time. And with that comes confidence. So so far the season's been going pretty well, and looking forward to hopefully picking it up here at some point.
Tell us about your style of play, Ross, in the NHL.
I wouldn't say it's a real skillful game, as Noah laughs over there. I'm a power forward, physical presence. Once in a while, I obviously fight a little bit too. So I guess kind of a player that creates space for his line mates, and it's something that I guess I've worked on for years, but continue to work on. So I'll sum it up with a power forward just to keep it simple.
He's got
You
an
guys
underrated.
locked on with that, Noah?
He got an underrated set of mitts on him though. They're sneaky good and tight.
Yeah. Just one more question, Ross. You guys locked on Tavares, but there seems to be a resurgence in the Islanders this year. Could maybe some of that be attributed to the coach?
Yeah, Barry's an excellent coach. As Noah will tell you, his systematic work and the way he knows how to teach the game to players, and he kind of creates a buy-in type mentality where everyone on your roster has a certain role, and they know what they have to do. So there's no gray areas for us, and when we go on the ice, we know what our job is, and we know the system. And I think obviously the past year and this year, it shows to the team success we've had, and going forward, I think we're poised to do the same thing moving on.
Right on. All right, Noah Dobson, folks, made the jump from major junior hockey to the NHL. And Noah, tell us from the Memorial Cups to the NHL, what kind of a stepping stone was that?
Yeah, no, obviously I was able to have lots of success at the junior level and lots of memories down there. But obviously the goal is to play in the NHL. Growing up as a kid, that's what you dream of. So to make the step this year and get the experience has been really good. I mean, I've been able to learn lots and get in some games and just learn how to play at this level. And fortunate to have lots of great teammates, and the coaches have been really good and helped me. And it's obviously nice to have a fellow Islander there who's had some experience. So anything I didn't feel comfortable with, he was a good presence just to ask questions, just to try and fit in. So it's made the transition a lot smoother.
A lot of players will be go from junior to the AHL or another team, then to the NHL. You made the big jump. What do you notice the big difference in junior hockey to the NHL?
Yeah, no, I think there's lots of things, but obviously the speed, the size, and I think the one thing is you're just playing against so many good players every night. In junior, the kind of the top two lines are kind of loaded up, then there's a big drop off between the bottom two lines and the top two lines, and I found at the NHL level there's no drop off. Every guy out there knows what he's doing. They're always in the right position and stuff like that. So just the speed and the physicality and the size and just how many good players there are out there. Everyone knows their job, and especially the older guys that have the experience, they're always in the right spot, so it makes it difficult.
You mentioned learning a lot. Now, there's some games that you've didn't get into, but you're still with the club, and then there's some you've been on a bit of a roll there before the shutdown. What are you learning by watching these players as you sit beside the bench some nights, but and not playing?
Yeah, I think, well, first off, we have so many great, we have an older veteran decor, the guys that have been in the league for a while, and a couple guys that have won Stanley Cups. So it's good when I get the chance to watch, I can kind of just sit back and read the little things they do. And obviously it comes with experience. They know how to go about the league, and just the little things is really the most important things that I try and pick up on and try and add it into my game as well.
Speak about your game. Who did you model yourself after as a youngster, still a youngster, growing up through the minor hockey ranks? Who was your, I guess, favorite defenseman as you were right now?
I was always a big fan of Alex Pietrangelo. I always thought we kind of played a similar style of game, and I was getting the chance to watch him last year in the Stanley Cup run they had, and how big of a presence he was. He was always a guy I'd like to watch, and he does so many good things right on both sides of the puck. So it's someone I really try and model after and try and learn as much as I can from.
Well, it's nice to have two teammates on here. When you're on the ice, you're maybe getting a little roughed up, and Ross is out there. Does he come to your defense?
Yeah, I think he's got my back pretty good, but I don't know if he was getting in a tussle if I'd be the right choice to hop in there and protect him. But he's good that way. Every time he's on the ice, the other team notices his presence, so I think it makes it a lot easier for the younger guys like me to get away with a little leeway.
Well, I'll tell you what, we have your guys' backs as we follow you guys in the NHL, and continued success. You guys are young. You have a lot of career ahead of you, and hopefully the NHL gets back on its feet. They're talking mid-July, but I'm sure it'll be October before things start up again. But all the best, Ross and Noah. Thanks for joining us tonight, and go Islanders, go.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, two great young boys from the island going to make it big. They have made it big in the NHL right now, but quite a career ahead of those two. Hey, let's get into some more music, and another name you'll be quite familiar with, Joey Kitson. Of course, Joey singing across the island the last several years, but a big member, the lead singer of that band, Rollins Cross. We all know about Rollins Cross, and hey, there's the family. Look at this, the Kitson family. All right. Yeah, all right, Joey, tell us about your career in a few minutes here, and maybe your children as well. Rollins Cross was a big deal when you guys were going strong.
Yeah, Boomer, it's great to be on here this evening. And basically, the band Rollins Cross started in the 90s, and we had a great run through the 90s, and we still play from time to time. Over the years, we probably played mostly in the summer, but the last few years I've spent more time playing with my kids. This is Julian on guitar, Andy back on piano and vocals, and we're looking forward to playing tonight.
All right, and you just introduced your family band here. Tell us a song you guys are going to play for us tonight, Joey.
We're going to play a great song by Towns Van Zandt. It was Willie Nelson's birthday this week. My wife's a big Willie Nelson fan, so we're going to do a tune called Poncho and Lefty.
All right, here you go, folks. Joey Kitson and family singing for us here tonight.
Living on my friend, gonna keep it clean. Now you wear your skin like I'm. Your dress is hard as ever seen. Weren't your mama only boy, but a favorite one it seemed. She began to cry when you said goodbye. It sank into your It was a bandit boy. His horse was fast, quality steel. He wore his gun outside his pants for all the army to feel. Macho Man is on the deserts down in Mexico. Nobody heard his dying word. That's the way it goes. All the better they could have had it. They only let it away. Out of mind, this size.
Dirty can't take the blue all night long like we used to.
petrol ended up in Lefty. Didn't put petrol Lefty's before you. Where he got his friend to go. There ain't nobody. All the things they could have had in day. They only let him slip away. Out of kindness, I suppose. Poets tell how Poncho fell and left his living in a cheap hotel. The desert squire feeling cold. So the story they're told. Poncho prayers it's true, but save a few for Lefty too. He only did what he had to do. And now he's growing old. All the things they could have had him any day. They only let him go so long. Out of kindness, I suppose. A few days better, they say they could have had him any day. They only let him go so long. Out of kindness, I suppose.
All right, there you have it, folks. Joey Kitson, along with his family. And Joey and folks, thanks very much for being a part of our show here tonight. And good luck down the road with your singing gigs. That hopefully things settle down and we all get back on the road with this. Thanks again, Joey and family.
Thanks, all the best.
All right, folks. I know she's itching to get at the playing the guitar and singing. We're itching to hear her, and hopefully the itches and glitches are out of the audio. Tara MacLean, I speak of, that we introduced a couple of minutes ago, and hey, there she is. Yeah, she's waving. We're waving, and Tara, tell us just a little about your song, and then we just can't wait to hear your melodic voice.
Thank you, Boomer. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you fine. Can't wait to hear you sing.
Okay, great. Well, I wrote this song with Catherine McLellan, who, as you know, is one of the gems of the crown of Prince Edward Island. And we did it in isolation. We were really missing each other. And yeah, it was just a really cool experience to start the song and then send it to her and have her finish it. And we recorded it that way as well.
Nice, very nice. And yeah, I think I know what you're leading into, but the first couple of chords on that guitar, and I know where we're going. So why don't you take it away, Tara, please?
All right, the song is called This Storm. When the world is spinning round and round, ashes, ashes, we all fall down. When we wake up in a scary dream, and all we want is to go back to sleep. I love you more than ever. Soon we'll be together in each other's arms. And I know that it will be alright. It's just gonna take some time. So hold on to this storm. When the only
know that it will be alright. It's just gonna take some time. So hold on through this storm. Through this storm. Through this storm. I love you more than ever. Soon we'll be together in each other's arms. And I know that it will be alright. It's just gonna take some time. So hold on through this storm. I love you more than ever. Soon we'll be together in each other's arms. And I know that it will be alright. It's just gonna take some time. So hold on through this storm. Hey, hey.
Wow, wow, wow. You know the old saying, it's worth the wait. Thanks for your patience for getting your audio, but wow. Wow, I'll tell you, we just had a text here from Toronto, another one from Texas here, people tuning in, and they love that song, Tara. So thanks for your patience. Good luck with everybody getting back on the road, Tara. And sorry about the little mix-up with the audio, but you sang that like a lark, and boy, if God sent an angel to earth to sing, he did it with you tonight here. Thank you very much.
Boomer, thank you. Hi to all my friends on PEI and all over the place. Love you all.
Bye.
Thanks, Boomer.
Thanks, Tara. Bye. Wow, 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 wow. That was very, very nice. All the performers here tonight and the interviews. And folks, we are now set to have an interview with two great legends here on Prince Edward Island. And I speak of none other than Lori Kane, LPGA golfer from Charlottetown, and all the way from Murray Harbor, Prince Edward Island. Brad Richards, superstar in the NHL in his playing days. And they, too, with their busy schedules in the New York, Florida area, took a few minutes out of their schedule earlier this week to have a chat with me. And here's Lori Kane and Brad Richards. Well, the Community Foundation fundraiser continues here this evening, and boy, do I have a couple of legends in sport here on Prince Edward Island with me. Joining me, Lori Kane. Of course, everybody knows the exploits of Lori's golfing career, and Brad Richards, the pride of Murray Harbor, Prince Edward Island. And folks, I know you guys want to know out there watching in as much as I do, but the highlights of these people's career, we could go on for 7 hours instead of 7 or 8 minutes. But Lori, your first LPGA win. Tell us about walking down the fairway in 18.
Well, I was so excited. I was that excited, Boomer, I three-putted to win. I missed a putt this long and then made one. But I had a couple of shots on my side. I picked a good tournament to win. It was a beer tournament, the Michelob Light Classic. But yeah, it was awesome. I'll never forget it.
And you had 4 LPGA victories. Any one sweeter than the other?
Probably the first. It took me a long time to get that win. 9 seconds. I have 99 top 10s. So the first win will always be the one that's probably the most special.
All right, golfing has taken off around the world and here in PEI. What advice do you give to young female golfers out there that want to be in a position you were for years and still are?
Take every opportunity you have. Play the game, but play many games. I've had the advice, and I'm sure Brad will attest to this, multi-sport athletes have a longer life in the sport that they end up choosing if professional side is the way you go. Bobby Orr, Wayne Gretzky have both told me that kids should play lots of sports, and I think at home we have the ability to do that. Obviously, the golf season is shorter, so hockey, golf combination, basketball, golf combination, not just for girls either, Boomer. I speak to both young men and women that the game is fantastic and something that you can play a lifetime.
Where are we going to see Laurie Kane this year? What tour can we follow you on, Laurie?
Well, hoping to play some LPGA stuff through whatever the season is going to look like. But you will see me at the CP Women's Open Labor Day weekend in Vancouver. That, fingers crossed, will still be on the schedule. I'm pretty sure it will. And you will see me up at Mill River practicing. Come on up there.
Good.
Maybe even get a game.
I used to caddy for Bruce. Any chance to get a job for you with you for the summer?
We can talk about it.
Thanks. All right, Brad Richards. Of course, folks, everybody knows the exploits of Brad, one of the stalwarts in the NHL for years, the pride of Murray Harbour here in Prince Edward Island. As I alluded to with the Laurie's big highlight of her career, the Stanley Cup, Brad. Tell us about winning the Stanley Cup from a young boy in Murray Harbour to the limelight, the pinnacle of NHL playoff history.
Yeah, I mean, you don't really set off to do any of that stuff. I was just playing hockey because I loved it. Thought if I could play Tier 2, maybe get a scholarship in college, that was kind of always a goal. And all of a sudden you're being drafted, and it kind of takes off. And fortunate enough to be drafted to a franchise that was kind of happy to use a lot of young players and give us lots of opportunity. We were able to play, fail. There was no pressure on us down there when we first started. We were building that team, that 04 team. And, to this day, it's still the most fun time of my life for hockey was that team and how we grew and built something together. And, like I said, we had no idea, when we started in Tampa, there was two beat writers and maybe one TV crew after practices. And then now you see Tampa, it's one of the best places to play in the league. And they've got a great team now, and I just feel like it was such a great place to grow and not have the world watching you. And then it all came together way quicker than we could have imagined. 4 years later, we were winning the Stanley Cup, and it was probably a little too young to really enjoy it. I was lucky enough to do it the second time and enjoy it a different way, but still, it was an amazing time, and still. Like I said, the most fun I've ever had in the game was that team building something together.
You mentioned fun. You had a great junior career with Rimouski, and Menzie Lecavier was with you there. He was with you in Tampa. Did that add to your confidence and fun that you did have in Tampa Bay, Brad?
Yeah, it definitely adds to that initial getting used to the team, the locker room, the way things are. It's intimidating no matter what level you're in, but never being around NHLers. We'd see the odd AHL PEI senator the odd time out in Southern Kings would come out and talk and stuff like that. But I walked in and even though the team wasn't top team in the league, it's still guys that you followed and watched on TV. So to have Vinny there, right away, you got your seat on the plane, you got your rides to the airport, you got all these things that. As a rookie, sometimes you're trying to figure all that out, and sometimes it's a tough on the confidence to not have people have your back right off the bat. So made that transition a lot easier, and then we just made so many great friends. We were all kind of starting there together, and brought in a couple of older veterans that were like big brothers to us, and it was just a great time.
Oh, great. I want to talk about the Island connection. Laurie, you must have seen Islanders in the gallery of your playing days, and they seem to be everywhere, anywhere you go in the world.
Lots. From probably the Phoenix was always good. Simon Compton was always out watching. His son Paul, he would bring Paul out. Then, I mean, I was in Brad's gallery in Tampa anytime I could get a chance to get over to watch him play, and was fortunate enough to have a few adult beverages with him after a couple of games. And also for me to pick his brain about being an athlete and living the dream. My question for you, Brad, is what was the difference between, so you win in Tampa quite young, and then you go to Chicago and win again, different establishments,
Totally,
the Chicago Blackhawks.
You couldn't get anything more different. Obviously, Tampa, young franchise, Sunbelt, Chicago coming, I just left New York where we lost in the final, which, still to this day, devastating. I just couldn't imagine if we would have finished that off in New York City, what an amazing experience that would have been. But to get right back into the final the next year with another Original Six historic franchise was an amazing opportunity, and I felt pretty fortunate. Totally different team. I mean, that team in Chicago from day one was win the cup or we fail. A lot of veterans, guys. They just won 2 in the last 4 years. It was a total different mentality. Tampa was kind of, wow, we're really doing this. This is cool. Let's just keep winning games. Had no idea what we were doing. Chicago was all business right from the start, and it just, if we lost a couple games during the season, it just, veteran team, no one cared. It was just, it's all about what are we going to do in May and June and getting into the playoffs. And so equally amazing experiences lifting, but different roads, different paths to it. Like I said, I think the Tampa team, a little more special connection to that group than the Chicago one, but what an opportunity to play with, 5 or 6 future Hall of Famers in Chicago also.
And so then your
folks,
time.
you know what?
I'm doing a sports report here.
I was just.
I'm going to be a golfer. You can take my job. This has been great, folks. I tell you what.
No, hang on. I got to ask about the real deal, Neil, and Dallas. I mean, there's a guy that you really helped a ton, and
the real
now
deal, yeah.
What do you think there's only one of them.
I don't know. He's trying to keep up to Connor McDavid, so I feel bad for him. I hope I hope his flexors are still intact. That'll be a tough assignment. But, he's doing good. He's still, we still talk, and he still picks my brain and vents and all that stuff. But it's tough when he's up there in Edmonton. The time change, we don't get to talk as much as we'd like, but. Once he's done, I'm sure we'll. He always talks about lots of golf and living in the South, so I'm sure we'll see each other for sure.
Yeah, and you play more golf than I do, by the way.
Laura, you're great. Brad, you're great. Guys, as said before we started this, we could talk all night, and for a minute there, I thought we were going to. Could listen to you all evening. Seriously, this was amazing. I love this stuff, and getting a professional's perspective on your different sports. So. Thank you very much, Lori, down in Florida. Thank you, Brad, down in Florida as well, folks, and helping out the Community Foundation with this big fundraiser here tonight. All the best in the future years to come, and especially you on the big tour this year, Lori.
Thanks, Boom. Take care.
Good luck, Lori.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
Brad. You too.
Hey, what an interview there by myself and cohort Lori Kane with Brad Richards. Hey, we've had music, we've had lots of interviews, we've had some presentations. How about a little comedy from the best in Prince Edward Island, probably one of the best in all of Eastern Canada. Hey, there it is right there. Look at him. Patrick Ledwell, our very own. And boy, as I think Ken Hudson said earlier, or Jonathan Ross, you said, talked about this event to our superstars on the island, and not one of them said no. And here's one right here, Patrick Ledwell. Patrick, welcome to the big show, the Community Foundation at Home, Stay at Home Gala. Did you have a big meal tonight? You're all dressed up.
At least the upper half is dressed up, Boomer. Downstairs, still wearing the wind pants. Trying to stay elastic to the curves that the new world's going to throw at us. How about you?
I just probably, let's see, what do I have on here? It is also short. It is. No, not windy enough for the wind pants, but warm enough for the shorts. But Patrick, nice to have you on board, and I'm not going to delay any further. Maybe a little chit chat after you give us a little bit of a rant on what you want to talk about tonight in the comedic fashion that you do so expertly. Take it away, Patrick Ledwell.
Well, it's wonderful to be here for the stay-at-home gala. I can say that for sure. I've been asked what's going on by a lot of Islanders, and not too much. I like how we can take an entire sentence and combine it together into one word. Another favorite Island word is namaste. You might have heard that on one of your online yoga classes. There's an Island translation, though, for those of you watching off Island. Namaste, when you say it on PEI, it means, no, I am going to stay. Namaste. Are you going to go to the grocery store today? Namaste. Are you going to go to work? Namaste. So I salute the light within all of you. We've all been staying at home and doing our part to keep our island safe. I think one thing that I've realized during this strange, unprecedented time is how much of my comedy is actually about things that are affected by the condition that we're in. For one thing, a lot of the comedy is about how Islanders really never have any sense of social distance. So I am so heartened and amazed that we're doing well with that. Who would have believed that Islanders would give you 6 feet of personal space in a Sobeys? I would not have believed that for the life of me. Usually we're right up in the grill and grilling people with the questions. I mean, we're all card-carrying members of the Island Right to Know Association. Within the first 90 seconds, you get about 19 questions. How you doing? When'd you get back? What are you doing now? How'd you get in that line of work? What are you making at that, if you don't mind me asking? Who'd you have to know to get that job anyway? And that's before they even ask your name. It's amazing. You just get questions in the grocery store like, who was your mother before she married and had you? I don't even know. I was a baby. But the questions come in. I swear sometimes PEI stands for privacy ends immediately. So I really have to salute Islanders for doing so well, taking a step back and being able to give each other a bit of space and a bit of safety through this time. There's questions I wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole in the past. That's, people have been given the 10 feet and given that space to one another. I am looking forward to being able to have those chit-chats with our frontline workers, those essential workers like I used to. It used to be really leisurely, and I just really want to go back to that. Usually when you go to the Sobeys and it says 15 or less, that refers to the number of minutes that will be in the chat with Shirley at the cash, when she's not behind plexiglass anymore, about who won Chase the Ace on the North Shore, or who's getting the transplant at the hospital now, and as I live and breathe, isn't that a sin? I really want to go back to that. Even at the pharmacy, won't that be wonderful? Everybody behind you in line, standing too close, calling you a dear, and reading the package over your shoulder. You hand something to the cashier, and they take a look at it and say, my cousin had a dose of this and stuck around a while. Won't it be great when we can go back to that? I'll miss it for about the first week, and then I'll say, just back off a touch, Big Rig. I need some personal space again. I think another thing that I've really realized is how many old-fashioned values I was raised with that are now the most useful thing I could ever know. That's been quite amazing. I mean, growing up in the 80s and 90s, I was kind of boiled in a stew of 1930s PEI values, and I didn't know what they were for. Why should I have to know how to use a shriveled turnip or make do with what I have? When am I ever going to use that? Well, I guess during a pandemic is the answer. Using all those baked in old-fashioned values. The baking we've been doing, unprecedented, incredible. I mean, all the baking, but no yeast. My mother gave me a 3-pack of yeast the other day, just nonchalant. I just grabbed them. Like, what's the street value of these grams? Maybe I'm going to take them out and peddle them on the Kijij or something like that. We're using everything in our freezer. I'm down to a whole new layer. It's all rhubarb. Chopped, frozen rhubarb in milk bags from who knows when. We're using it, baking it up. There's nothing I love better in my muffins than a little pocket of dampness. And there's nothing like rhubarb for putting that in there. Oh my goodness, get that stupid half celery out of my baking at the best of times. But here, in these times of COVID, We got to use the rhubarb. Who knows where Islanders are going to leave it this summer? Usually you come out in the morning and there's a Sobeys bag, a quart of it on your stoop. We'll have to give it away. We're even getting through the chickens and the turkeys. Here at the Loyalist Road, we were raised on a hobby farm, which is where you eat some of your pets. And I don't know if some of those chickens date back to those times, but there's nothing like eating, a dinner made of something at one point that you've named. I know that seems a bit creepy, but here in the home where I was raised, we always think back to those traditional values of connecting with our food, like the gander Charlie that we ate one Christmas. He chased us around in the yard for about 6 or 7 years, so there wasn't a lot of broken hearts at the thought of eating him. We were all arrayed around the Christmas table, tucking the tablecloth into our jumpers, banging our forks and knives on the table. Bring him out, Dad! Charlie! Charlie! Made my life miserable, knocked me off my bike for 7 years. Pass him over! Oh, we were covered in goose grease by the end of it. Because when you have an animal that's been your enemy over the years, there's nothing sweeter than seeing him served to you on a platter with his arse full of bread. Taste the croutons, Charlie. How do you like me now? And if nothing else, I hope that this uncharted territory is a time that we can connect back to those values of home and good food and togetherness within the uncertainty, and we come through on the other side of it together, appreciating what we have and able to look forward to a society that we've all tried really hard to value and re-envision. Stay together and stay apart, all Islanders.
All right, folks. Hey, kudos, boy. I was my napkin here from Sim Steakhouse was come in handy there. I was wiping the tears out of my eyes laughing. But Patrick, thanks very much. A little downtime everybody has right now. You writing new material, new shows. I'm sure you are, maybe.
Well, as a comedian in PEI, I have performed for audiences of less than 10. So that's interesting when I hear about the new ease back measures. But I think the main thought for myself and Mark Haynes and some of the things that we've done at Harmony House is there's nothing we'd like better than to see all of those faces well and together on the other side of this. Every single one of those faces, we want to see them again, that one face. And that time will come. And if we can all get there together at the right time, that's when we want to be back. And that's what we hope.
For sure. There's a face we want to see, too, on the billboards and the coming weeks and months. Patrick, thanks for being with us, Patrick. Thanks for adding a big slice of humor into our evening here tonight on the Community Foundation Stay at Home Online Gala. All the best, Patrick.
Shouting alone at home on the Loyalist Road. Thanks, Boomer.
All right. Well, that was Patrick Ledwell, as we just heard. And coming up shortly, we're going to have Kinley Dowling. Yes, another star performer on Prince Edward Island, making her name right around the Maritimes and in Canada as well. And Kinley Dowling releasing albums. And we're going to have a chat with Kinley as soon as there she is. There, Kinley, how are you?
Great. How are you doing, Boomer?
Good, and I got to say hi to your dad, Alan. He's a great drummer, and I used to have him on Compass there for the military thing, and I'd always get the drumsticks and drum. But you're from a musical family, and I'm sure your dad had lots to do with your talents right now, Kinley.
Yeah. Both my parents are musicians, so they're very supportive when I was growing up, and always playing music and going to concerts. This is new. I like this live at home.
Live is the best. You never know what's going to happen. And we found that out tonight. But we are having a great time here tonight. And tell us a little about the song you're going to sing for us, Kinley.
Sure. The song is called Golden Days. And I wrote it years ago when I was living on Victoria Row. And I just watched Stompin' Tom's funeral. And it was really sad. But he was talking, there was a quote from him talking about how there weren't enough songs about Canada and where we live. So I was like, okay, I can write a song. So I wrote this about Lakeside Beach, which is my favorite beach in PEI.
Wow. Well, we're not going to hold you up any further, and the beach days are just a few weeks away. Ladies and gentlemen, Kinley Dowling with her new rendition of Lakeside Beach.
Cool. I'm going to get my boyfriend Dylan Menzie to join me on guitar.
Really?
So
Wow.
this
Wow.
nice built-in guitar player. Pretty sweet.
He is that.
So here we go with Golden Days. I heard you in colorblind. Now everything you see is red. You were looking for the sunset. All the numbers got to your head. Maybe you should come home, 'cause you've been saying it for so long that the buildings surround you and the city drowns you. Yeah, maybe you should come home. You've been saying it for so long. Let the water lift you from the city's undertow. Yeah, maybe you should come home, where the gritty sand makes you feel born again. All the bad things you lived through and the good things you didn't do, they get washed away when the sun hits your face, when you're diving in the waves. Yeah, these are the golden days. By the piping plovers, we told her you loved her. We were running with the tide, seeing life through our childish eyes. Yeah, maybe you should come home. You've been saying it for so long. Let the water lift you from the city's undertow. Yeah, maybe you should come home. Daydream all night. Take her hand, make it right. Where the dunes wrap around the bay, it can take your breath away. Where the colors all bleed, where the sky meets the sea, and you dive in deep with your friends all around, skipping stones to the sea. Never want the sun to go down. When the stars come out, everyone gathers round and they talk to the flame. Yeah, these are the golden days. And when there is a break, we all listen to the waves, 'cause the sound of the shore can take you out of the darkest place. Yeah, maybe you should come home. You've been saying it for so long. Let the water lift you from the city's undertow. Yeah, maybe you should come home. Daydream all night. Take her hand, make it right. Ooh, yeah, maybe you should come home. You've been saying it for so long. Let the water lift you from the city's undertow. Maybe you should stay home.
Well done. We had Kinley Dowling there, and of course Dylan Menzie. We're going to have Dylan on in a few minutes' time. But you guys have a lot of time now with the lockdown and shutdown of certain areas. Doing a bit of writing, Kinley?
Yes, yeah, I've been writing lots of songs actually. It's I don't want to say it's nice, but I love being at home anyway, and I love PEI, so I'm writing lots of songs about PEI.
And what makes a good song, Kinley, when you're writing? What makes a good song that people are going to catch on to?
Geez. Well, you gotta have a good hook and a good chorus. I don't really know what I'm doing when I write songs. It's just more like a diary entry, and then when I have some thoughts together, I'm just like, oh, this is the main thing. Let's bring that back, and then I either try. My normal instrument is violin, so guitar is kind of new to me, but I like writing on it, so it's fun.
All right. Well, listen, all the best things get back to normal. I'm so envious of all these entertainers here tonight play more than one instrument. I can play the spoons, and that's where it starts and ends. But thanks very much, Kinley, and all the best in your writing until things get back to normal. And thanks for being with us here this evening.
Yes, thank you. We're supposed to be at the ECMAs right now, so I'm happy to be going to another gala. This is great. I'm having a great time.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your kind words. Bye-bye, Kinley. Well, that was Kinley Dowling and her Dylan Menzie accompanying her on her tune. And right now, folks, we are going to another pair. I'm going to say pair. They're actually twins. And we talked about young talent here tonight. Brooke McArthur, all ages, all genres of music. And boy, do we have a pair right now. Look at this. I'm just like a kid at Disneyland when I'm going to introduce these two, because I heard them sing on CBC Radio about a year ago, and I just dropped my peanut butter and my knife on the floor and everything as I was doing my toast. I said, "Are you listening to this down the hall, Karen?" And here they are. Look, I am. Ava and Lily, welcome to the Community Foundation Stay At Home Gala. Wow, look at the wardrobe and everything. You guys have had quite an early go at it successfully in the music industry, and you got to be pretty happy with the way things are going.
Yeah, we're so happy. Yeah, it's been a blast.
What was it like down in the big lights of Hollywood in California?
It was insane, like absolutely surreal. We loved every second of it. Yeah, a big dream. It was kind of crazy, and everyone was so nice down there. It was great.
All right. So, of course, your dad is behind you guys technically and musically, and he was with the group Haywire. Of course, a lot of people remember that, Dave Rashid. And there he is off. Look, hi, Dave. There he is. Look at him. And boy, is he proud of these two as we are in Prince Edward Island. Glad to have you with us tonight. What are we going to hear tonight from Ava and Lily Rashid?
We're going to do a couple songs planned, and the first one's called The Sound of Silence.
Oh, one of my faves. Take it away.
Awesome. Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again, because a vision softly creeping left its seeds where I was sleeping, and the vision that was planted in my brain still remains within the sound of silence. And the restless dreams I walked along narrow streets of cobblestone, neath the halo of a street lamp, I turned my collar to the cold and damp, where my eyes were stabbed by the flash of a neon light that split the night and touched the sound of silence. Beneath the naked light I saw 10,000 people, maybe more. People talking without speaking, people hearing without listening, people writing songs that voices never share, and no one dares disturb the sound of silence. Said I do not know. Silence like a cancer grows. Take my words that I might teach you. Take my arms that I might reach you. And my words like silent raindrops fell. And the sun flashed out its warning, the words that it was forming, and the signs said the words of the prophets were written on the soul the dolls stood the sounds of silence.
Thank you. Thank you. This last song we're going to do for you guys is one that our great-grandfather Charlie Chamberlain used to sing on the Don Messer and the Islanders show, and this is called Smile a While.
Smile a while, you kiss me sad and do. When the clouds roll by, I'll come to you. Then the skies will seem more blue down in lover's lane, my dearie. Wedding bells will ring so merrily. Every tear will be a memory. So wait and pray each night for me till we meet again. Smile while you kiss me sad and too. When the clouds roll by, I'll come to you. Then the skies will seem more blue down in lover's lane, my dearie. Wedding will ring so merrily. Every tear will be a memory. So wait and pray each night for me till we meet again. So wait and pray each night for me till we meet again.
Wow, wow, wow. And Charlie Chamberlain, yeah, you know, I can remember that song. I think it used to be the end of Don Messer's Jubilee where they'd all dance around together, and you guys don't remember that. And but boy, yeah.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, and what a great rendition you guys did there, Paul Simon's hit. Folks, your inspiration, obviously, from your dad, how much of an influence and help has he been in your early goings and your great career that is ahead of you?
He's definitely a huge influence. I remember when we were young, we'd always be side stage to his concerts and just watching him on the keyboard and vocals.
And he always helps us, like, we'll be playing piano or guitar, and he'll always jump in and be like, hey, can I show you a new chord? So it's awesome to have him around.
Okay, you guys, a CD coming out in the near future?
We're working on an album actually right now. It's awesome because we have all this time. So we've been working nonstop, and hopefully we'll get it out and around like the summer.
Yeah.
All right, so a good Christmas gift for me and anybody else that wants to hear more of you folks. All right, folks, thanks for being with us tonight. Say hi to your dad, Ava and Lily Rashid. What a talent we have here in Prince Edward Island. They've already been in Hollywood, California. We're lucky to have them here tonight. Thanks for being with us, girls.
Thank you.
All right. There you have it, Ava and Lily Rashid. And boy, can they sing. And of course, Dave Rashid, formerly of the group Haywire, that we all know about back in the 80s, accompanying his twin daughters here this evening. Well, we have a couple of back to the sports interviews. You got to love these. You got to love the music. We have a great mix here tonight with the Community Foundation Stay at Home Online Gala. And right now, I'd like to introduce Scott Morrison and Zach McEwen. And there they are on the screen, folks. And of course, Scott Morrison is the assistant coach of the NBA's Boston Celtics. Zach McEwen is a player with the Vancouver Canucks in the NHL. And of course, everybody is down sports-wise with the shutdown. I'm going to start with you, Scott. From Morel to the big lights of the NBA, how does that feel going to work every day?
I mean, I can't think of a better place to work. The Celtics are obviously one of the top historic organizations in the league, and just to walk into the building every day and see the banners and the retired jerseys, and every now and then you see some legends come in to watch practice. So, as a basketball fan and as someone who's studied the game his whole life, it's a pretty unique and special experience.
Now, your dad, George Morrison, a familiar name here in Prince Edward Island years ago with the UPEI basketball Panthers and other teams. How much of an influence, I'm sure, was he on you and the career you're enjoying right now, Scott?
Well, I mean, you can't even really probably measure the amount of influence him and my mom both have had on me as coaches when I was growing up. He coached me in both baseball and basketball all through my minor years, and then to go to UPEI and play for my dad was a great experience, and just to see kind of the behind the scenes recruiting and planning practices and dealing with issues on the team, stuff that you couldn't really substitute in terms of getting experience before you had the chance to do it yourself. So I owe both my mom and dad a lot for helping me get to where I am today, and obviously all my hours spent in the UPI gym hasn't gone to waste.
Yeah, you spent a lot of time coaching in Canada and in Maine. What was it like getting the call that you were offered the job as assistant coach of the Boston Celtics, from Morel to Boston Celtic territory? How was that?
I mean, obviously it was a thrill of a lifetime at the time to get called into Coach Stevens' office, and just him to tell me that I was getting called up full time, just like any of the guys that are getting called up from the minor leagues to play in the big show. You never forget that moment. I try not to think about it too much because I want to keep growing and keep getting better as a coach. But every now and then when I sit down before a game and check the program, that's sitting around the locker room, and it says my name and Prince Edward Island beside it, it's a special feeling and something I'm very proud of.
What do you try to instill? These guys are pros. We all think they know everything because they're at the pinnacle of their career. But what style do you try to incorporate from your coaching style into these players?
Well, I think coaching is the same at any level, whether it's grade 4, 5, 6 to the NBA. It's just building a relationship with your players. The more that they trust you and feel that you're in it for them to try and make them better and try and work for them, the quicker they are to buy into what you're selling them. So if you do your research and come with a good game plan and know your stuff, then it's easy to work with them. But at the end of the day, I'm teaching these guys the same stuff I would have taught Zach White from Belfast, who played for me in the college ranks at Lakehead. So just a little bit different scenery, and these guys are getting paid a little bit more than Zach got paid at Lakehead. But at the end of the day, same stuff. Basketball is basketball.
Great stuff. Hey, also on tonight we have Zach McEwen. And Zach, NHL from Utica Comets, where you excelled. You sort of went under the radar in the junior league here in the Maritimes and the Quebec Major League. And boy, the Vancouver Canucks. What's it feel like to be an NHLer from Stratford, Prince Edward Island?
Well, I guess it's it's a dream come true. Obviously, I put in a lot of work and a lot of hours. It kind of took a roundabout way to get there compared to a lot of people, which is it's a really good feeling for myself to be recognized. And try to earn a spot to stay in the NHL as long as possible. It's it's like I said, dream come true.
You went from the AHL, obviously, to the NHL. You did well at Utica Comets, the farm team of the Canucks. What's the big difference on the ice, stepping up from the AHL to the big leagues?
Yeah. Well, I mean, the speed is what everybody talks about. I think that was the biggest thing I noticed at the start. Your time and space is a little bit more limited whenever you're in the NHL. So, you kind of got to think a little bit quicker and move a little bit quicker, and just try to keep your confidence that you had going in the minors and bring it up. And I think I started to get adjusted to that as the year went on this year. So I was starting to feel a little bit better with that.
Yeah, things were starting to roll for you there before the shutdown. But tell us about your style of play that we're going to watch when the NHL resumes. And Zach McEwen, tell us what his style of play will be like with the Canucks.
Yeah, I think I have to assert kind of a physical presence in the lineup. Try to get in on forechecks and try to create as as many turnovers as possible using my body, try to throw the body around as much as possible. It's nice to score the odd goal and try to chip in for offense whenever you can. But, I think just being reliable on the ice and being trustworthy out there is going to be a big key for me.
Your first skate onto the ice, the opening ceremonies for that game, your parents, I believe, were in the stands. What was that feeling like? Could you probably even feel your legs that night, Zach?
Yeah, no, the first, they do the old rookie lap with rookies that are playing their first game. So I was actually about to go out on the ice, and I went to put my helmet on, and somebody stole it out of the dressing room. I didn't know where it was. So they were like, yeah, it looks like you're going out there without a helmet. And I was like, I just remember going out through the tunnel and just thinking, all right, just stay on your feet. Don't even touch a puck. Just stay on your feet for one lap, and then you can blend in. So it was pretty exhilarating for sure. It was a once-in-a-lifetime feeling.
And the Vancouver Canucks have really burst onto the scene with young talent like yourselves and some recent acquisitions. It seems to be a nice young blend there as you guys go forward, Zach.
Yeah, it really is. There's a lot of really young, skilled forwards and D. With the Canucks, you see, you get guys like Elias Pettersson, Quinn Hughes, Brock Besser. Like those guys, they're really dynamic players and they're great for the team. And they're only still coming into their own and getting better as they get older. So I think it's a really, really fun team to be a part of. And I consider myself really lucky to be a part of it. And I love the position I'm in for sure.
And also at the NHL, you became an uncle this year. Do you want to say hi to your little niece out this way?
Yeah, you know what? There was a little bet that said, I bet Boomer mentions something about me being an uncle. But yes, my brother Curtis, his wife Emily, they had a little girl named Sophia. I doubt she's watching right now. It's probably late, and she wouldn't know what's going on anyway. But hi to them, and hi to everybody back home in the island. I know it's I've been away for a while, but hopefully be able to get home at some point and see everybody again.
Yeah. Scott, one more question. Some of us go to work, we look at the curtains in our office. You go to work, you look up, you see the jerseys, as you mentioned, Bob Cousy, Larry Bird, McHale, these people. That's got to be a thrill, boy from PEI or from anywhere to see those jerseys.
Well, it makes going to work a little bit easier for sure. And just to keep us motivated, beside all the banners that they have 17 championship banners. There's one banner hanging with no words on it. It's blank. And that's a reminder that the people before us, did their job, and now it's our turn to try and kind of toe the line. So it's nice for sure, but there's also a reminder that you have a kind of a level of excellence to live up to, and you can't take a moment off to relax.
Well, good luck getting another banner on the roof there. And Zach, thanks for joining us. Scott, hopefully with maybe some restrictions lifted, we may share an oyster or an adult beverage here this summer, folks.
Sounds good. Thanks for having us on.
Thanks,
all right, there it is. Zach McEwen and Scott Morrison joining us. And now we're going to go to some more music. And you saw him earlier just backing up Kinley Dowling. But Dylan Menzie is going to join us right now. And, of course, Dylan, very, very successful musician. There he is. And we're all inside. Hey. How are you? Dylan, tell us about what you're going to sing tonight. A little background on maybe the tune you're going to play.
Sure. So I'm going to play a song called Wild. I have a new record coming out on May 22nd, and this is the first single from that. And if anybody wants to go to YouTube after the show is over, or after the gala, and check out the music video for it. It's an animated music video about a baby turtle that hatches on the shore, done by a great artist named Aiden Searle. And it was a really fun project because I didn't have to do anything for it because it was an animated music video. I just came up with the idea and then let it go. But yeah, the song itself is all about, overcoming traumatic experiences and moving on and moving through it. So I thought it would be appropriate for tonight.
All right, there it is. The background on the song Dylan's going to sing, and it is Wild. All right, Dylan, take it away here this evening.
The music video for it. It's an animated music video.
Little video problem there. I think that was Heather Moyse just getting in on a little bit of a gremlin in the system right now. But Dylan's going to be back with us if we can get that link set up with his song, of course, talking about the little turtles born in the beach. You often seen those in the National Geographic shows. But if Dylan is set to go, we more than would welcome his acoustic stylings with his voice. But in the meantime, folks, don't forget this is a fundraiser. You can go back to the homepage when we're done here, or in a little break that you may have, and donate to the cause. All funds raised here tonight by Community Foundation go to COVID-19 Impact Relief Fund, and they do great things with the money and around the island and the Maritimes. Very well-known organization, and they would like a bit of your support. I'm sure you're enjoying this 3 hours. I think we're going to go over a little over 3 hours, a little bit of a bonus in there. So we got music to come yet, a couple of more interviews, and again, get your tap shoes out. I promise you, as we end off the evening, you're going to be swinging and swaying across the floors or the carpet at you. Hey, there we go. We got Dylan back here right now.
Hey,
There we are. The power of technology. All right, Dylan Menzie, folks, with this song, Wild. Take it away, Dylan.
Yeah, before it breaks again. All right. Let me take you away, carried off by the waves. I see it in your face. I know you're longing to be safe. Let go of where you're from, all that you've overcome. Maybe it's in your blood, born to be closer to the sun. Onto a great unknown, leave all the rows and rows and rows of boring suburban homes, and break for a golden coast, and try hard to understand how we move hand in hand when what we don't comprehend, down to a single grain of sand. The valleys and forests, leaving the lives we've built, all of it at our heels. Well, move with the ocean swell, find it within ourselves to finally take the Let me take you away, carried off by the waves. I see it in your face. I know you're longing to be safe. Let go of where you're from, all that you've overcome. It might be that we belong beyond the horizon. The valleys and forests, leaving the lives we've built, all of it at our heels. Wild, move with the ocean swell, and find it within ourselves to finally take the wild. The valleys and foreign hills, leaving the lives we've built, all of it at our heels. Wild, move with the ocean swell, find it within ourselves to finally take the
Dylan Menzie. Well, I tell you, I envy anybody that can play guitar, and you do it well, my friend. Dylan, thanks for being with us, and all the best to you and Kinley in your careers when things get back to normal, and the many, many gigs that were maybe postponed or canceled come back at you, folks. And again, Dylan, thanks for your time here tonight and excellent musical skills.
Thank you so much. Have a great night.
All right, there it is, folks. Dylan Menzie, boy, the acoustic stylings, great voice. Now we're going back to some sports, and we're going to introduce two people, the pride of Summerside. You can't hide that Summerside pride. They say we have two people right now, two men on the ice and behind the bench. If I already gave you a couple of clues, maybe you know who I'm talking about. None other than Gerard Turk Gallant and Doug MacLean. And boy, they are busy as well. So a couple of days ago, we did this interview, and stay tuned for this one. These guys have a lot to say, and very animated, Mr. MacLean is. So, ladies and gentlemen, introduce Gerard Turk Gallant and Doug MacLean. Well, we continue here this evening with the Community Foundation Stay At Home Gala fundraiser. And boy, do we have a couple of more hockey legends here on our screen right now. Gerard Turk Gallant is off to my left, and Doug MacLean, both Summerside boys. Boy, when it comes to NHL, these two are known from tip to tip here in North America. And we're going to start with probably their coaching careers, because Doug and Gerard, both very successful coaches. Both ended up in the Stanley Cup Finals at one time. Doug, tell us about that team in '96 in Florida. What a run you guys had.
Well, it's pretty amazing. I just watched games 1 and game 3 against Pittsburgh. They had the Classics on down here in Florida, so it was pretty funny to watch it after all these years, and to think back about all the great memories and fond memories of that series and that run. And you know, obviously with Gerard doing it with Vegas a year or so ago, it was the same sort of excitement. But I'll tell you what, rewatching those games was pretty funny to see. You know, the Robbie Niedermeyers, the Jovanovskis, the Brian Skrudlins, and all these guys that have done really well in their lives. Besides, so it was exciting. John Van Beesbrook was story at 5 feet. To think of him playing goaltender at 5 foot 8. Today, the cutoff is 6'2" to be an NHL goalie. So it was pretty fun to watch it.
Yeah, would you make any different line changes watching it now than you did back then to get the cup?
Yeah, instead of I would have liked to have had Yzerman or Fedorov, and you know that's probably a change would have made. Skrulin was a great leader, but you know what's bizarre about that final against Pittsburgh? Lemieux and Yager, I think we held them to 1 point each in a 7-game series. It was hard to believe. But I watched the game. The hacking and whacking was unbelievable. Couldn't get away with that now.
Right.
They were dirty.
Right.
We were dirty.
Coach's fault, maybe? No.
Not a bit.
Turk, hey, Vegas. A lot of people questioned Gary Bettman going to Vegas with an NHL franchise. What was it like? The city was behind you guys 100% with that tremendous run to the Stanley Cup final a couple of years ago. Tell us about that run, Turk.
Yeah, that was incredible. Also, like you said, for an expansion team to go to the Stanley Cup final was it was just a thrill. And you know, listening to Doug and remembering Doug in '97, I was coaching the Cat. To listen to that series, it was very similar. I mean, we both had teams that weren't probably supposed to go, you know, win a round or win 2 rounds of the Stanley Cup playoffs, and both of those teams got to the finals. They were a big underdog, both teams, and they had a lot of grit, a lot of character, hard-working guys, real good hockey people, but not the skill level that should have got to the Stanley Cup finals. But again, like I said, that both of those teams are very similar, hard workers, characters. You know, the Derek Englunds, those type of guys, the Scrooge, like Doug talked about in Florida. You had a lot of those guys that banged and bumped. And, you know, to get to the Stanley Cup finals and the win the way we won was, you know, we both, and that was a tough part. And you get that far, you really want to win it. But it was, it's something I'll never forget.
All right, Turk, going to stay with you for a second here. Best player you ever coached in the NHL?
Oh, that's a tough one. There's a lot of good guys. I mean, lot of character guys. But you know what? I mean, if you look at the longevity, I mean, Yarmouth was incredible. I mean, he wasn't the best when I had him in Florida at that time, but for the amount that he done for hockey, and even when he came to Florida, he was still a hockey player. So he's got to be right up there.
Right on. Doug, yourself, the best player you ever coached, and maybe it's the guy I'm talking to here on my left.
Well, he would have been the best left winger I coached. Well, him and Rick Nash would have been a close. They would have been close. You know, I think back. Somebody asked me the other day the top 5 each position, and I think I was with Stevie Eiserman for 4 years. As much of a pain as he was, oh man, was he aggravating! But was he a great player? I'll never forget what he said to me one day. We're standing in the shower, and we're both shaving. And he said, "Doug, I'm a pretty good player, aren't I?" And I said, "Stevie, you're a great player." He said, just think about this. I've had Harry Neal, Danny Belial, Nick Brian Murray, Jock Demers, and you and Brian. He said, imagine how good I would have been if I just had one good coach. That was Stevie Y,
And apparently you taught, you were a teacher in Summerside, and did you have Turk as a student at one time, I hear?
Well, I had Gerard as a student in grade 10 or 11 in Summerside at Three Oaks High School. And I'll never forget one day in school, I was doing a little exercise asking the kids what they wanted to do when they finished school. And Gerard wrote down he wanted to be a postman. And I said to him, you know what, Gerard? I said, I would really focus on the hockey if I was you. I'd forget about the postman because he was going to Sherbrooke, Quebec the following September. I remember I would focus on the hockey a little more than being a postman. So I think he took my advice, and he did a pretty good job of it.
He did, and he could carry the mail to the net in any team he played for. And Turk, the best player you ever played with. Tell us that.
Well, there's no doubt that Stevie Eiserman, obviously, like Doug talked about him, character person, character guy, but he came to the rink every day ready to play and ready to work hard and make our team better. And I love playing with him. I was fortunate enough to play with him and Paul MacLean and Bob Probert. We had different right wingers all the time, but I think it was 4 or 5 years that I played with Stevie, and like you said, it kept your job simple. Other than that, put your stick on the ice and go in the corners and win some puck battles. But Steve, great player.
Yeah, and you've been a hard-nosed player when you did play, Turk. Toughest guy you ever played against? Toughest guy?
Well, that's a tough one. There's a lot of tough guys, but the one guy that scared me the most, besides the 2 guys on my team, Kosher and Probert, was Stu Grimson. He was a guy in Chicago, big man, tough man, and he never bothered me much. But one guy that I really wouldn't want to get involved with would be him for sure.
All right, Doug, the hockey league, NHL hockey league, like most sports league, down with this virus. Will we see a season this year? There's a lot of talk mid-July and playoffs in October and come back to the new season. What are your thoughts being in the broadcast industry now?
They desperately want to play because they want to get some of this revenue back because they don't want the escrow to be so out of whack next year for the players. So they're desperately trying. My problem is getting the regular season in. We're going to have 900 players in hotels, plus trainers, it's 50 or 60 people for every team. They want to have 30 players with every team. I think the medical group are going to really be hard on them, but I know Bettman and Daly desperately want to play to recoup some of this lost revenue. If there's any way, they will start playing August 1st. They'll be done the end of September. They'll take a month off, and next season will start, according to what I'm hearing, next year will December 1st.
All right. Well, there you have it, folks. Well, our time is up here. It's been a blast talking with Gerard Turk Gallant and Doug MacLean. Thanks, guys, for joining us and helping out with this fundraiser. And good luck on the golf course this summer, guys.
Thank you.
And good luck to all Islanders.
Thank you.
Stay healthy. Stay healthy.
Sure.
I love getting the perspective of professional athletes in their chosen fields. And we sat there with Doug and Turk Gallant. Well, we're going to stay in the Summerside area right now. And Olympic medal territory, and none other than Heather Moyse. And there she is, Olympic gold medalist in bobsleigh or bobsledding. Heather, you're going to correct me on that. But thanks for joining us here tonight. I always ask this on the podium. What did that feel like with the gold medal being draped around your neck, Heather?
Oh, well, I mean, it's a feeling that kind of goes beyond words. I think I've talked about this a lot before, where it's just, especially when I won on home soil, it's a feeling that can't be replicated. So I don't know, it's kind of a cop-out answer, but it's emotional. It's when it's in front of your people, your country, with just the electric feeling that you can feel all across the country. And you know the people who are there supporting you and helping you along the way, and you know that you didn't get there alone. And it's just an all over body, mind and soul, emotional and heartwarming experience. Yeah.
Okay, you're at the top of the run, and you're ready to push that sled, and the gold medal's on the line. What was going through your head mentally? How do you prepare yourself for that big push and then hop in that sled?
Yeah, I think especially with bobsledding in the Olympics or World Championships. By the way, bobsleigh is Canadian, bobsledding is American, but we usually say bobsledding. That's just to help you out, Boomer. Yes, but at the World Championships or the Olympic Games, it's actually 4 heats over 2 days instead of 2 heats over 1 day for any kind of World Cup race. And so really, when you're up there for the very last run, it just really depends what's going through your mind. Somewhat depends on where you're sitting in the race going down on that run. I know with Vancouver, we were we were leading right from the first run. And so it was a matter of kind of trying to get the mindset out, trying to stop yourself from thinking, just don't screw it up on this last run. So what we tried to do is just focus literally on one run at a time. We just needed to do the same thing again, focus on our own program, our own plan, and execute what we knew we were physically capable of executing. And when it came to Sochi on that 4th run, we were coming from behind. After the first day, we were losing by a significant amount. And so that 3rd run helped us kind of get back into that realm of possibility, kind of cutting that gap in half. And so before that 4th run, it was just, again, we can do this. We just cut the gap in half. We just need to do the same thing again, focus on our own program, our own plan, and stay focused going down. But both of those runs, all of that stuff couldn't have happened or couldn't have taken place without support from home and support from PEI. And there are just some really great stories about how I called on people to help me with training and to help me get ready to be there. And, I couldn't have done it without PEI. So.
You touched on a subject there, training, and I've heard some of your training methods. This is not the provincials or the Canada Games, the Olympics. Tell us about some of your training techniques, and some obviously all by yourself, being an Olympic athlete. How was your training schedule back when you were training hard, Heather?
Yeah, when I was training full time and not injured, which was most of the time actually, was when I was injured. But a lot of times, athletes will train 6 days a week, and some of those will be double training session days. For me, it was more, I was kind of a nervous system athlete. So if my nervous system was tired, even if my body wasn't tired, if my nervous system was tired, I wasn't going to get anything out of that session. So I trained 5 days a week, but didn't take 2 days off in a row. So I usually took Thursdays off and Sundays off. And 2 of the days I was training, 2 of the 5 days I was training, I usually had double training session days. So would be lifting either in the morning or afternoon, and then doing a full sprint workout on the other. So 2 of those days would be double training session days. And then, added onto that, you'd be having all of your kind of mandatory therapy and treatments and all the recovery stuff that you need to do in order to be able to maintain that level of training. But some of my favorite training stories are the ones where I talk about in PEI, because out of all those years I was training and competing in bobsledding, I never moved to Calgary. I only moved out there just at the very start, just for the preseason before we took off and left. And some of the training I did was because I wanted to stay closer to home. Some of that involved pushing cars in parking lots, because they would be pushing sleds in the ice house in Calgary. And so anytime I saw them doing that on the schedule, I would say, okay, well, I have to somehow simulate that somewhere else. So I, found a parking lot, found a car, and, pushed across the parking lot. My brother, I have to give a shout out. He likes to tell people he's helped with my Olympic training, which I guess is true. The car was in neutral while he sat in the front and blared Eye of the Tiger out of the window while I pushed him across the parking lot. So shout out to him. But it's heartwarming. There was once when I was in PEI and I needed to, I wanted to be able to push that car to keep up with what was happening in Calgary, what I was kind of forfeiting. But a couple of times, especially right before the games, it was snowing out. And so it's unsafe to go and try and push something across a parking lot. And I would most likely have been injured. So there's one time where only in PEI, I believe, you can do these sorts of things. And I got on the phone and called the mayor in Summerside, Basil Stewart, and, asked him if he had any suggestions. And he, took me down to the potato warehouse right on the waterfront and opened it up. I signed a couple waivers and I was in there pushing cars across the parking lot. Another time, called a friend and he connected me with Clark's Toyota, and I'm pushing in the Bay Area, like sprinting behind a car. I mean, it's just, these things don't happen other places. And that's why I just think, especially with tonight, with all of PEI coming together and reminiscing, it's not just reminiscing about sports and accomplishments. It's about, just thinking about how lucky and privileged we are to be on the island and to be islanders, because it means we're not alone and it means we're forever connected. So.
Yeah, you mentioned there that not a lot of islands can do what you did in training. You did a lot more than a lot of other people have done, Heather. We're still so proud of you for your Olympic medal. And we want to thank you for being with us here tonight. And just one quick question, maybe a quick answer. Another comeback for Heather Moyse?
Was that quick enough?
That was fine, Heather. That's fine.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers. She's got a book out, and folks, look it up. And here she is, Heather Moyse. Thank you very much, Heather, for joining us. And there she goes, Olympic gold medalist.
Thanks for having me.
Proud of her here in Prince Edward Island. Yeah, we got them all. All right, folks, we're going to head right now to get the tap shoes on, maybe the spoons out of the kitchen cupboard, because we have none other than world-renowned. He's right here in Prince Edward Island, and he's going to take us through a couple of nice fiddle tunes. None other, I introduce Richard Wood.
Thank you very much, Boomer. Wow, what a incredible night we're having here at the Stay At Home Gala. This is so awesome. I'm so blessed and I'm so honored to be a part of tonight. Just before we start, I'd like to just give a shout out to all of our essential workers for all the amazing work that you're doing and that you continue to do. We can never ever thank you enough. Absolutely amazing. Thank you. We're going to do some tunes here. I've got my backup band here off of one of my earlier records, and I'd like to do a little set called The Ferry Bridge. I thought those tunes would be appropriate. And now's your chance to dance if you want to get up and give us a step. Nobody's watching. And in case you're wondering, yes, Sir Elton John did call me earlier, and I told him, no, you can't borrow my coat. I had an important show to do, okay? So, The Ferry Bridge. Here we go. very much. Wow. Thank you. From my family, Faye, Michael, and me, so much love to all of you at home. God bless you. Stay safe. And I would just like to say one more thing. You know what, PEI? We got this. I love you. Thank you so much. Back to you, Boomer.
Hey, thank you very much, Richard. And boy, those spoons come in handy there. Love the fiddle stylings of most fiddlers. But boy, when you have Richard Wood anywhere, let alone in this show, you have quite a program. Well, folks, that wraps it up for our beautiful show here tonight. And beautiful it was from start to finish with happy hour 6 to 7. Community Foundation Stay at Home online gala. And I think as someone mentioned earlier in the show, we hope we don't have to do this again, that we can have it a big event at a ballroom on Prince Edward Island. And now for a few final thoughts, I got to say, folks, I enjoyed this immensely. The 3.5 hours almost went by just like it was an hour. We have quite an array of talent, musically, professionally, sports, and municipal and leaders. Dr. Heather Morrison, what a show. It was all here tonight. We hope you enjoyed it. We sure did. A few glitches, but hey, those are long gone behind us for the talent we saw on TV tonight. It was a pleasure to be your host here this evening. I would like to thank Ken Hudson for asking me. Of course, I, like the other entertainers and athletes here tonight, a quick yes. Never gave it a thought, and I am glad I did say yes. Now, for a few final closing thoughts, the Executive Director of the Community Foundation of Prince Edward Island, I give you Mr. Kent Hudson.
Hello, my name is Kent Hudson, and I am the Executive Director of the Community Foundation of PEI. We thank each and every one of you for joining us tonight for this PEI Stay at Home online gala. We truly hope this will have been a once-in-a-lifetime event, and we hope you enjoyed yourself. I want to take a moment to say thank you to all of our entertainers and special guests who took the time to join us throughout the gala. It was amazing to see some of our best and most well-known island ambassadors come together in support of PEI at a time of great worry and uncertainty. A very special thank you to Boomer Gallant for serving as our host this evening. It certainly appears he hasn't lost his touch. I also want to recognize our sponsors for this evening's gala. These sponsors include Maritime Electric, the Guardian Saltwire Network, the Eastern and West Prince graphic newspapers, Ocean 100.3 and Hot 105.5 of the Stingray Radio Network, Techno Media, and our producer for tonight, Scott MacLean of Universum Sports and Entertainment. A few final reminders before we sign off. Don't forget to visit our new Chase the Ace online lottery that was announced earlier this evening. The website can be found at www.chasetheacepei.ca. This is truly a unique island-wide lottery that is 100% online. Check it out and have some fun while also supporting island charities at this time of need. If you wish to donate specifically to our COVID-19 Community Impact Fund, please visit our website at cfpei.ca and click on the Donate button. Every donation will receive a charitable donation receipt for tax purposes. All proceeds from this evening will be in support of our newly established COVID-19 Community Impact Fund. Our goal is simply to raise as much as possible to be dispersed to registered charities and qualified organizations who have been negatively impacted by the coronavirus pandemic. More details will be available in the near future regarding the application process for charities and qualified organizations. In the coming days, we will provide updates on the total funds raised. We will also provide everyone with a link so that you can view this broadcast again if you wish. Watch for details on Facebook, Twitter, and the CFPEI website. And one last time, thanks so much for everyone who joined us this evening. Stay safe, and we can't wait to see you in the future.